This is your home for the Panthers, Paola Sports Live. Paola Sports Live is presented by Comcast Xfinity Network. There's no better place to watch and stream sports than on Xfinity. If you call yourself a sports fan, then visit Xfinity.com to learn more.
The outside shot, Wickers blocked from behind by Kuhlman. Here comes Pitzer though, puts it right back, and one, count the basket. Trauman, a nice pass underneath the Richmond. He's got himself 4 in the tie for Paola.
Play clock at 15, they'll take the snap. This will be a quarterback keeper and into the end zone.
It's time for the Panthers on your home for Paola High School Athletics. Paola Sports Live.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's broadcast of Paola Sports Live, brought to you by Comcast Xfinity Network. There is no better place to watch and stream sports than on Xfinity. Comcast's Xfinity Network makes the sports viewing experience simple, seamless, and unforgettable. Nobody else gives fans a single destination for every game, Wi-Fi that streams live sports over a connection with ultra-low lag, and powerful features like multi-view to keep every fan in the action from multiple live games at once. If you call yourself a sports fan, you need Xfinity. And the pregame show brought to you by Paola Vet Clinic, from your pet to your herd. Paola Vet Clinic has over 90 years of veterinary experience to help give high-quality care at affordable pricing. Visit them at 1708 Industrial Road in Paola, or visit their website, wildcatvetclinic.com, to learn more. I'm Aaron Feely, along with Brennan Bolin here tonight for this simulcast of the Paola Panthers taking on the Spring Hill Broncos. And Brennan, these two squads met not long ago. Spring Hill was able to get the clean sweep on that evening varsity-wise. Both the men's and the women's games going the way of the Broncos. The Panthers out for a modem of revenge.
Yeah, and I must say I'm excited to be back in Paola, although we got to change out those first two clips in the intro video. That was me about 2 years ago. I was fresh as senior out of high school, so it's glad to be back in Paola, first of all. So I appreciate everyone tuning in. And then take a look at the last game. Spring Hill was able to get away pretty decisively on this one. The one thing that the Panthers did really well against Spring Hill was guard the perimeter, and they extended beyond the three-point arc. And that was Spring Hill's Spring Hill's lively area. They love to move the ball around that side there. So whenever you create a bit of pressure from beyond three-point range, you're going to force the Broncos to try and do a lot of things they don't want to do. And they tried to drive inside a lot, but the one thing that kept Spring Hill in that game was A, trips to the free throw line, and B, they're able to find the dribble drive penetration really well. So you got to give props to Paola for being able to stay on top of it. But second of all, it's a packed house. So I imagine it's going to be a packed house again here tonight in P-Town. But this should be another interesting matchup. I think Coach Butler might have her squad ready. But for the Broncos, they're fresh off 10 straight victories being against Lewisburg. So for Paola, they're in win-now mode right now. I think they have to get at least 1 or 2 more wins to put themselves in playoff contention. So they have a tough stretch ahead, and it starts with the Broncos, and especially that last game against Eudora, they lost.
Yeah, the Paola Panthers started off really cold to begin this season. Didn't find their first win until it was this side of the year. It was in 2026, and it was late January on top of that. So they've found all 3 of their wins in the last 3 weeks. They're hoping to make it a 4th here against Spring Hill, as you mentioned. That's one thing that Paola has done very well. You talked about how they were able to limit Spring Hill with pressure out beyond the three-point arc. Paola has played well defensively against pretty much every opponent that they've played to this point on the season. That has not been a weakness of theirs. Where the weakness has come in has been trying to generate enough points to stay with an opponent after you've been able to play decently enough on the defensive side, and we'll see if they've got something awakening offensively, as we'll step aside briefly here as the Panthers and the Broncos just about set for opening tip of the first game of our doubleheader here on Paola Sports Live, brought to you by Comcast Xfinity.
This Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming.
Next up, boom time. The Wi-Fi booming. The Wi-Fi is booming like a
10x double unicorn IPO.
scream me sideways. It's bursting with Wi-Fi.
Well, everyone who knows a boom when they see one is going to want in.
The Wi-Fi's booming.
Protect what matters most with Scott Hayka at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Paola. With years of experience, Scott and his team will deliver trusted insurance and financial solutions for families, farmers, and businesses as they prepare for life's challenges. Whether it's auto, home, farm and ranch, life insurance, or retirement and financial planning, it's your future. Let's protect it. Stop by 11 South Pearl or call 913-294-2737. Scott Hayka, your local Farm Bureau agent, helping protect your family, your livelihood, and your future.
Every tax season, a villain rises.
Keep those numbers messy. I thrive on confusion.
But when overpayment strikes, a hero answers the call.
You can't save them all, Captain.
Watch me. Prime Accounting, fighting for your deductions, protecting your refund. Don't let Tax Luther take your refund. Join Team Prime today. Power to the people who file.
To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
The University of Kansas Health System is proud to be the official healthcare provider of the Kansas City Chiefs. Both organizations know excellence comes through their actions. It's about giving support and collaborating together. It's providing comfort and leadership to forge the path to success. The University of Kansas Health System cares for you in every moment, no matter how small. Learn more at kansashealthsystem.com.
Welcome back into our broadcast of Paola Sports Live as we're just about set for the opening starting lineups for each of these squads to be announced. So at the starting lineups here for both of these sides, we're just about ready for the opening tip-off, brought to you by Miami Lumber, servicing Miami County since 1983, located at 1014 North Pearl Street in Paola, open Monday through Friday 7 to 5 and Saturdays 8 to 3. Miami Lumber, your homegrown home improvement store. Like us on Facebook. Should be a good one here, and we're expecting a fairly decent crowd to continue piling in as we pretty much get every time these two teams square off against each other across any sport. Some decent proximity between the two squads. Usually that builds fairly healthy rivalry, especially in the high school level. Nobody likes their neighbors, Brennan. That's just small town 101.
They don't call it the Battle of 169 Highway for a reason.
As it's Smale getting to it quickly, and then ball goes right to the rim, up and through, and it's the Paola Panthers that strike first.
I love that quick transition bucket right there. You win the tip, and then you have an open lane right to the basket. Beautiful job by Allie Ball being able to, or Ellie Smale to create that opportunity.
Shot from 3 did not go, but Meter able to get to her own rebound after it came absolutely flying back out of there. Little mid-range jumper. That one won't go. Loose ball, and finally corralled by Bryn Sanders. And Pitzer, danger with that one near the baseline. Able to get to it, though, and then gets around her defender and then found an open cheerleader, but unfortunately, not only were they in a Spring Hill uniform, but that's not an eligible player, so that's going to be out of bounds. It'll be Spring Hill ball.
That's already a turnover induced by the Panthers there. When you look at these two sides when they played last, Paola turned the ball over 25 times in that game, so I'm sure Paola this time around, they want to limit the amount of opportunities they give Spring Hill.
That would have been an opportunity for Spring Hill, but well before that thing got going, we've got a foul on the floor. And was that against Smale again?
It is, yeah. It's back-to-back fouls on Smale. That's somebody you don't want to lose early in this one. And 2 fouls in the first quarter. That's just really unfortunate.
Oh, what a defensive play by Canellis. And it ends up being Pitzer that's going to get credit for the official takeaway, but that was pretty much 99% Lola Canellis. His ball takes a 3 off the backboard. Ball gets her own rebound, and then another pass trying to hit someone down low that goes a bit high.
What the Broncos like to do on that play is they like to have Isla circle around to the other side of the box. They just pop it to her, and Isla's able to use her size to just toss it up. But Panthers are ready for it. That's a great job by Canales to get there in time. Broncos love to run that play, and they're right there. Yeah, it's a cut right to the basket, and that time Canales wasn't ready for it.
Now Herman does a great job getting herself inside. There's going to be a fairly substantial size advantage when they try to go down low to the post for Spring Hill. Paola has been the undersized team in pretty much every matchup they have faced this year. The guys have kind of the opposite issue. They're normally the one with a fairly substantial height advantage in a lot of these matchups, which they also will be today. So we'll get a flip of roles as we transition from the girls to the guys game as Paola comes up empty again, and we remain tied at 2.
And checks in Finley Heinrich for Paola, and my partner Curtis Kaiser really loves Finley Heinrich. The way she plays as a freshman especially. She only logged just 1 point in the last matchup, but she was really dominant in that game. Had 2 blocks, and somebody who's been dominant already, Isla Herman, that's now 4 for her in the first quarter.
That's all 4 Broncos points for the senior as Hallie Ball, the freshman for Paola, bringing this one up court. They'll ask a lot of their freshman class, will the Paola Panthers. Hallie Ball plays fairly significant minutes. You just talked about Heinrich. She plays a fairly substantial role as well. A lot of these girls first started seeing action a couple of months back after some injuries depleted Paola on the varsity level. Called some of the freshmen up into action as we get another bucket there from Rodden. And then they ended up playing so well, Brennan, that those freshmen just ended up becoming a permanent fixture of the varsity lineup.
Yeah, it's something that Paola's going to have to, they've had to really reel in, is the fact that they've had a lot of players rotate in through. I mean, you go back to Hazel Downham's senior year, if you remember, and then you had Audrey, who's only about a sophomore then. You had Brylan Wicker and Yasmin Rutledge last year, so this team's really rotating in a lot of players.
And one of the few senior leadership members of this Paola squad, Amanda Pitzer right there, tried to just take a 3 as the shot clock was expiring. That one ended up just offline. But yeah, you talked about it, a rotating cast of faces here for the Panthers, one of the younger teams here in the conference. As here's a 3-pointer back the other way, and that one's drilled by Aubrey Meter.
It's only about time before Meter got hot, and right there, finally able to land a 3 after missing her first 2. But basically, Meter just right there knocked down the shot you give her. And right, Broncos already off to a hot start.
We'll step aside briefly as a timeout taken by the Panthers here on Paola Sports Live, brought to you by Comcast Xfinity.
Buy one Sonic Smasher and get another free. That's right, buy one hand-smashed Angus beef Sonic Smasher and get another free. It's the dual threat quarterback of burger deals. Buy one, get one free in the Sonic app.
Back in out of that brief stoppage as the Paola Panthers off the inbound jumped out to the 2-0 lead right off the opening tip, and it's been a 9-point run for Spring Hill since. As Pitzer fakes the give, takes it herself, gets through, and that puts an end to that 9-point run.
And that's something I've seen Pitzer do since she was a sophomore, is those little floater shots. That's been a signature for her. And I go back, I always recalled that if Pitzer was going to throw something up, whether it be just a random floater, 9 times out of 10, she was going to make it. And right there, she's really developed her game. She's able to make those consistently.
And that high knee, as we learned in Bonner Springs, can also produce the secondary advantage of making an opponent think twice before wanting to take the charge as well. So you kind of two birds with one stone that thing. As a 1-for-2 trip there to the line for Aubrey Meter. Although there was the downside of Pitzer not just colliding with a Bonner Springs player in that game, but also leaving the game herself briefly on an awkward landing, but did return. And is this going to be a travel? No, a grab beforehand. So Heinrich able to draw the Spring Hill foul, and it will be Bassett over to trigger the inbound.
It's interesting enough, that's the Broncos' first team foul, and reminder, Paola's already up to 14 fouls, and we're just barely under halfway to play in the first quarter, so Panthers have to be careful.
Not unfamiliar territory for Paola. They've had their struggles with the fouls often this year. Is that one another turnover? You talked about the turnovers in the first game between these two. Something Paola has often lived by defensively. They hate to turn around and die by it as well, but Spring Hill, a very good, sound team. And right here, you talked about those turnovers, or at least I did, as Heinrich takes one right back.
It's one of those, Schubert was able to grab that offensive rebound and then kind of had her back turned, and Paola just is able to swipe it away from behind.
Oh, his Hallie ball got right to the rim, but that thing just cycled a bit too fast. Sprung itself back out. Here's Herman. Dishes this one to Meter. And the Broncos will continue to move it around. They get it down low, a foul, and that will send Brackett to the free throw line. She'll shoot 2.
That's a nice play right there, kind of a pick and roll look at kind of the top right wing there by Brackett. You get the screen to McConnell, you drag your defender up, and then Mason Brackett just rolls off that screen down to the low block and collects herself a foul. That's Paola's 5th, so any foul after this will automatically put Broncos to the free throw line after this one.
Brackett misses on the first. Meter got it and gets the bucket and the foul. So this might turn into some serious points on this trip for the Broncos.
Meter is just left all alone right there, so she just was essentially able to grab it, kind of position herself back to the basket and throw it up, and then somebody who's late to the party and getting to Meter there, and it was Pitzer.
And they'll get 4 points out of the trip thanks to one free throw there from Brackett, and then a basket plus a free throw coming from Meter. Paola looking for an answer. Heinrich throws it at the rim. That one no good. And then plucked down by McConnell. She gets it to Meter. Meter with a small lane finds her way through it. No good, but the rebound corralled there by Mason Brackett, and she turns it into 2.
Brackuda stands at 6'1", has started to use her height really well, and that's something I really love as she's developed, you know, using her size to her advantage and her height to her advantage. I go back to that Lansing game, she had 10 points. That's the most she's had so far in her just career as a junior. So Brackett's done a nice job so far, kind of the tail end of the season of really developing, and you're seeing it right there. Broncos will just change their lineup almost entirely outside of Isla Herman.
Yeah, Herman feeling quite lonely on that particular changeup as she'll stick out there. Everyone else goes and gets some water. Paola leaves their 5 in. Here's Smale back in there. Not quite going to go, but rebound corralled by Sanders, who turns it into a second chance basket.
It's one of the few that Paola's been able to grab at second chance boards, and they take full advantage of that right there.
Good movement here. Herman trying to find a player down low. I believe that was Melius, who was briefly open. Paola got a hand in, knocked it out of bounds.
Melius is just wide open down low. I think Smale is able to tip it last second.
Smale, who is rostered at just 5'7", but has easily been Paola's top post player, both offensively and defensively this year. Deep three-pointer there for Herman would not go, and Bassett collects the rebound.
Broncos are just running out of time, just had to throw something up.
See if Paola can take advantage of the opportunity afforded him. Here's Bassett, pressured, gets it to Ball. Gets a screen from Bassett. Now to Canellis. Well, trying to find Smale down low, but there was just a small army of Broncos in the vicinity and just no room to squeeze that pass in there.
Broncos had a great defensive possession there. They guarded it outside the perimeter. Herman had a nice switch there with Cheesem to be able to force Canales to try and throw a pass down low. Smale thought she had a seal, but then that pass just came soaring in a little bit high. That's a great offensive set by the Panthers, but the Broncos just had a really nice defensive set to complement that.
Now Broncos fling it near side. Cheesem. Back to the near side for Herman. Puts up a shot. It's good. Three-pointer there for Spring Hill. And here in the first quarter, already a 13-point contest. Paola looking to generate any kind of momentum as they head into the second. Here's Bryn Sanders. That one taken away. Still kept by Spring Hill. Coming back the other way. They'll slow things down, send it outside. Pass a bit high. Kept in. Canellis again. And Bassett won't even try to fling that one. Lola Canellis has been really exceptional at the jumping of the passes all season long. That's been one of her strong suits. We'll go to the second quarter right out of the break here on Paola Sports Live, brought to you by Comcast Xfinity.
Playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
My experience at Strode Orthodontics was amazing. Like most people who had their first round of braces, I forgot to wear my retainer and so therefore had crooked teeth. I got engaged this year. I wanted straight teeth for my wedding, and so Dr. Strode was able to give me Invisalign, and now I have the straight smile that I've always wanted. We're gonna get such a welcoming experience here. The day of my wedding, I'm not going to be scared to take pictures. Now I can finally be confident with my smile on that big day.
Back in out of the break here on Paola Sports Live. 19-6, Spring Hill came off the bus rolling here in Paola. Panthers will look to try to get this thing going back the other way, but it'll be Spring Hill ball to begin the second quarter.
That last sequence, Aaron, was a flurry. Kylan Herman, after Meter is able to just lob it behind her back, Herman was able to keep the play alive, but lost her shoe in the process. And then Milius barely kept it in bounds. That last sequence before the buzzer is just quite a flurry.
That shot just a bit too far in. Herman got the rebound, and that's going to count, and the free throw on the way. Big time effort from Isla Herman to collect the rebound, put up the shot, get it to go, all while being fouled, and now we'll see if she can make it a three-point play.
That's something Isla's really developed her senior year, is her ability to have a paint presence, and I'd like to call her a point forward because she's just really dominant from beyond the arc at times, but mainly she's really developed her game inside the block, and I think that's something that's really.
As Kotzer gets this one out to Smale. Oh, and a bit of a mix-up there as Canellis and Kotzer were both in the exact same spot, and the pass just a bit too hot.
That smells in her softball presence just kicking in right there. I think she's ready for spring to start.
As is the weather, evidently.
Yeah. Count it. Wow.
This is unbelievable. Another shot made there for Spring Hill with a free throw coming. This time it's Kylan Herman who will go to the line.
That's just unbelievable.
And she converts on the free throw.
It's the third or fourth time this game the Paola Panthers have given Spring Hill an and one opportunity.
And Spring Hill has been mostly capitalizing as well. Paola, very nearly a turnover there, but they're able to get it back. Amanda Pitzer waiting for something to develop. We get a whistle. We'll get a foul on the floor. Paola's ball for the inbound.
Pitzer's just trying to direct traffic there. McConnell just gets a bit too close. Didn't shuffle alongside Pitzer. So they're going to get McConnell for her second personal already.
Here's ball back to Pitzer. Hits the brakes. Back to Kotzer. Back to Pitzer. Open. Takes a three off the front of the rim. No good.
Oh, Kylan's hurt. Yeah, they're gonna try and pause so that way they can get her off the court.
Able to get back to the seats under her own power. But she'll have to get a substitute in there for her. And I'll take a look at what looks like she's pointing to her ankle. Hope for all the best there as Spring Hill will bring this one back up court. As a foul going against Paola as Isla Herman was going to try to drive in through the lane.
And Panthers already back up to 4 fouls, and we're a minute and a half in.
Spring Hill's been giving them issues down there. So we'll get a quick substitution. Kotzer out. This will be Bristol Wicker, the freshman, in for the Panthers. She's tasked with guarding Isla Melius.
I'm going to call 3-second violation.
Yeah, that one's going to be charged against Meter.
Might have been Meter or might have been Harris down low. And either one of them.
Get this one quickly to Canellis. Oh, and that's going to be a travel. Bristol Wicker couldn't quite keep that back foot planted. And so it'll be Spring Hill ball for the inbound.
Took a pretty big pivot right there. It's one of those ones where you just have a really big pivot to try and face yourself towards the basket, and you just kind of drag that foot unintentionally.
Oh, nice maneuver, getting right to the rim. Couldn't quite get the finish, and then Canellis tips it out of play.
Panthers trying to now limit as many offensive rebounds the Broncos can try and grab.
Quickly getting it in and getting it right into the rim is Mason Brackett.
It's that pop pass again.
Taking full advantage of the height edge that she had there. As ball goes quickly to Canellis. As Heinrich with her goes to her. And now out to Hallie Ball. Now Pitzer will try to drive. Shoots, will not go, and the rebound pulled in there by Brackett. Spring Hill working quickly. Gets it to Brackett, gets it down low. Melius up and in.
Melius kind of just slowly trailed towards that back corner.
And a timeout taken by the Panthers. We'll step aside as well. 29-6, Spring Hill rolling here on Paola Sports Live.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Panther fans can find us at 310 North Hospital Drive in Paola or 913-294-3713. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Hi, I'm Katie Casey, and I'm honored to be a third-generation realtor in our Crown Realty family. My dad and grandparents started Crown Realty in 1973, and since then we have grown to become one of the largest brokerages in the Midwest. We now have 8 office locations and over 150 agents covering about 20 counties across Kansas and Missouri. Reach out to us today to experience the Crown Realty difference, where we are committed to treating our agents like family and our clients like royalty.
Back in out of the break. Panthers use the timeout as they try to kill off some of this Spring Hill momentum that has garnered them a 23-point advantage here in this first half. Hallie Ball gets it over to Pitzer. Now back out to Ball.
They're going to give McConnell her third personal, I believe.
That'll certainly be something to watch as we tick towards the end of this first half. Hasn't been a great deal that's gone particularly wrong for Spring Hill, but 3 fouls, certainly the worst of it if there's any negativity to be spread here amongst. Quickly moving it around, Meter along 2, off the back of the rim, tipped, no good, and Pitzer somehow coming down with the rebound, had good position.
Just trying to vie for it and come away with it there.
It gives up 4 inches in the height disadvantage on that particular battle, but was able to come away with it. And now a foul. This one will again go against Spring Hill, and then we'll get a substitution or 5. For Paola, Bassett in for Ball. For Spring Hill, everybody.
Everybody except, I think they kept Isla Melius in there. Yeah, they did.
And another foul goes against the Broncos, so feeling a bit bad that Paola was all the way up to 4 just a minute and a half in. They've decided to claw back into this thing pretty quickly and get it back to 4 fouls apiece. Bassett into Pitzer. She drives, shoots, not gonna go. Ball Heinrich the rebound. And then Wicker gets to it, gives it right back to Amanda Pitzer, and she's fouled.
And that's already Rodden's second, and she's kind of in disbelief on that one.
Whether she believes it or not, it's going to be Amanda Pitzer at the line. Well, who would have thought at the 6:30 mark when we pointed it out that it would be Spring Hill to hit 5 this quarter first?
It was not too far behind with 4, so already combined 9 team fouls. Just a second removed over the halfway mark.
It's that first free throw. Took a trip around the lane and then fell back out.
Lane violation on that second one. I think Pitzer just stepped over the line.
So officially 0 for 2 there for Amanda Pitzer. And now Spring Hill will try to make him pay for the missed opportunity.
Oh. It was a great sequence there by Spring Hill. You had Cheesem there. You had Rodden get a steal. You go to that back shoulder throw, and then Melius is right there, but it kind of just was tipped right off and onto Melius's face. So Broncos going to have to try again.
For 3. Not going to go. Loose ball on the floor, and a jump ball will be called. Possession arrow with Paola.
That was quite the jump ball.
It had a certain air of the wrestling match about it. Ball gets it to Pitzer. Fakes the give right back. Now has to flip this one outside. Shot for 3 from Heinrich. She drills it.
That was a quick release from Heinrich and able to just drill it as kind of a laser beam off her hands.
Showing some excitement on the run back to get into defensive position as well. Herman gives it. Shot for 3. Got it! London Cheesem able to drill that one from distance.
And Cheesem, I normally see her. She's one to just kind of like to drive in. There's occasional times we'll see her go from beyond the arc, but right there, that is just perfect release. Able to knock that one down.
Now Pitzer will try to answer. Off the rim, no good. Got a couple of players that ended up on the floor, but it's no call, and it's Spring Hill with the ball. Isla Herman waiting to see if anything gets open. They'll keep moving it around. This will be about as long a 2 as you can get, and that one drilled London Cheesem.
Again, that's just great release from Cheesem. Unfortunately, just over the line, but great release there. This is the perimeter shooting contest here.
As Pitzer delivers a shot, it's not going to go. Kotzer was going for the rebound, and she's fouled.
Yeah, Melius kind of just reached in a bit too late as Kotzer is just trying to corral it.
And now that'll give Kotzer an opportunity to put Paola into double digits. And she will on the first.
Panthers, all they need is just points on the board right now. That's really a big necessity for Paola right now.
Any way you can get them, though that one won't go. Pitzer is going to draw a foul herself. So Kotzer put 1 through, and now Amanda Pitzer will have an opportunity to shoot 2 of her own.
It's Rodden's 3rd foul, so you have Rodden with 3 and McConnell with 3. So that's something close to monitor. Is this game's been quite foul heavy, I must say. I mean, you look on the other side, Smale picked up 2 early in the first quarter, and then I think Pitzer has a pretty high foul number as well. So number of fouls is getting pretty stacked up between both sides.
Trying to go down low to Brackett. Pestered there by Bryn Sanders, and that ball ended up on the line. So Paola ball, off the turnover.
Brackett just brought it down. Paola, nice job of just surrounding Brackett and was able to poke it away.
Small miscue on the pass. Ultimately, no harm, no foul as Pitzer trying to weave her way towards any sort of opening she can get. Loose ball, still loose. Everyone ends up on the floor, and it's Spring Hill that comes away with the ball. Finds its way back to Schubert, now near side. Shot for two, won't go. Brackett the rebound. Brackett puts it up and in.
Brackett, I think, just stood on her tippy toes for that one. Is able to just toss it back up and knock it down.
Oh, and ball ends up blowing a tire. Still loose. It's Wicker that gets to it and gets the pass over to Pitzer. Outside, back to ball. Puts up a shot. Off the rim, no good. Brackett the rebound. Shot clock turned off.
It's quite the sequence.
You know, all starting with the slippage over in that area. Shot for three, won't go. Loose ball. It's Wicker that comes away with it, but it's also likely going to be Wicker that ends up on that scoreboard next to the foul.
I think it was somebody else. We'll get that number in just a second. I think that's what they're discussing is who it was on. Because there's that late collision there. It was either McConnell. It's McConnell or was it Brackett that was able to snag it, and then somebody collided in late, so it is two shots. We'll wait what number that is.
Yeah, I thought it was Wicker colliding into the back of Brackett. That's what they called, but I could be wrong. They haven't put any number up just yet. It's Pitzer that's getting subbed out with 15 seconds. And it's Bryn Sanders who's charged with the foul.
I think that's about right, because Sanders came in kind of last second. That's what it was on. It was on that rebound attempt. Wicker was able to come away with it, but Sanders ran straight to the back. McConnell, I believe, was trying to go for it.
Gets it to Sanders. She'll try to make up for it with a three, and she's fouled.
Yeah, Brackett just came second too late. Sanders is already kind of post-release, and it's going to give, I think that's 3 free throws they're going to give Sanders.
And she hits the first. Didn't even think about it. Just grabbed that thing and flung it, and it was perfectly on line. Second one just off. Couple of players confused with the number of free throws we're about to see.
It should have been 3.
Looks like it will be.
There we go.
Third one offline. Heinrich the rebound, but her shot denied. And we'll go to the halftime break. 38-13, Spring Hill rolling. Halftime show after a quick break here on Paola Sports Live, brought to you by Scott Haka Farm Bureau Financial Services.
Up your lawn care game at Hers Inc. in Spring Hill. We have one of the area's largest and most diverse selections of lawnmowers, including top brands like Altos, Bobcat, Gravely, Dixie Chopper, and Red Max. Quality built machines for any size job. And when you get your mower at Hers, we offer full service and repairs covered by your warranty. From the backyard to the back 40, the all-star lineup of mowers at Hers will make you the captain of the lawn. See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by.
Our whole vision of becoming the 4-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house in Oklahoma, whether they're starting a business and expanding into Arkansas. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, whether it's home, auto, financial services, or even life insurance. We want to walk through the stages of life with our clients. That's the biggest part. That's what makes us different.
Here at Strode Orthodontics, we are a single doctor practice, which means that I am the only orthodontist here in the practice. I will be the one guiding you through your care journey. With our experienced staff, your appointments will be more efficient and more comfortable. We love treating kids as well as adults. We want you to be happy with your experience during orthodontic treatment as well as your smile at the end. I love when patients tell me that their smile has improved their confidence and their quality of life, because a smile is for a lifetime.
Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Stoes with Paola Vet Clinic. We'd like to thank you for trusting us with the care of your pets and large animals. At Paola Vet Clinic, we're proud to be your hometown veterinarians who know and care about your family. We provide cutting-edge diagnostic services, digital radiology, ultrasound, and in-house same-day blood work, chiropractic, and reproductive services. Come in and see us at our new location here in Paola in the Industrial Park with indoor cattle and equine facilities complete with a hydraulic tip chute. With a team of 11 veterinarians, our commitment to this community makes Paola Vet Clinic the vets you can trust.
For 50 years, Elliott Group has been your local insurance partner. With 5 convenient locations, Elliott Group is big enough to offer the best carriers, but small enough to know your name and your insurance needs. Elliott Group is more than just insurance. They're a part of each community they serve, with a wide variety of insurance solutions to help your unique challenges. Elliott Group, where they're there for you today and for years to come. Visit them at any of their 5 locations or at ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
There are places where all roads lead to families providing for their loved ones and their community, where friends are found down every street. That's where you'll find us, taking time to get to know you, calling you by name, generation after generation. Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Scott Haka in Paola today.
Iron Horse Family and Cosmetic Dentistry and Dr. Laura's Orthodontics are committed to providing quality health care for area families. With comprehensive solutions, Iron Horse Dental and Dr. Laura's Orthodontics will listen and take the time to truly understand your needs, goals, and lifestyle. State-of-the-art equipment, techniques, and facilities combined with a new approach to oral care. That's what you get with Iron Horse Family and Cosmetic Dentistry and Dr. Laura's Orthodontics. To learn more, visit them online at drlaurasortho.com or ironhorsedental.com.
First Auction Bank community banking at its best. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Looking for a taste of home-cooked goodness and a welcoming hometown atmosphere? Look no further than Circle C Cafe in Paola. Indulge in mouth-watering breakfast that'll jumpstart your day, or savor the hearty lunches with farm-fresh ingredients that'll make your taste buds dance. Circle C Cafe, where delicious food and friendly faces come together. Stop in and see them at 1305 Baptiste in Paola. Circle C Cafe, hometown flavors, hometown pride. Find them at facebook.com/Circle C Cafe.
My experience at Strode Orthodontics was amazing. Like most people who had their first round of braces, I forgot to wear my retainer and so therefore had crooked teeth. I got engaged this year. I wanted straight teeth for my wedding, and so Dr. Strode was able to give me Invisalign, and now I have the straight smile that I've always wanted. We're gonna get such a welcoming experience here. The day of my wedding, I'm not going to be scared to take pictures. Now I can finally be confident with my smile on that big day.
Hello, customer. State reason for visit.
It's a long story.
You can say claim, billing, or something else.
Can I talk to someone else?
Transferring now. Hello, customer. State reason for visit.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we treat people like people.
How can I help?
It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Scott Haka in Paola today.
Back in live for the Paola Sports Live halftime show, brought to you by Scott Haka, Farm Bureau Financial Services. Scott's goal is to help you plan for the unexpected and protect your future. Getting to know you and the things that are most important to you will help them customize the right plan for your needs. To learn more, visit him and his team at 11 South Pearl or call 913-294-2737. 38-12, your score as we enter the third quarter. I actually thought it was 38-13 there when they went to halftime, Brennan, but after a couple of notches with the scorekeeper's table, it appears Paola has lost one of their points.
They lost 100 points, mind you. Originally, thought the score was 112-38 in favor of the Panthers, but it was unfortunately just a scoreboard malfunction, so had to be fixed up. But I think Paola's doing a phenomenal job in this game so far. The way you look at it is Panthers have done a nice job defensively, but it's just been the foul trouble in the paint that's really hurt them in terms of the defense. Offensively, they're taking really good shots and having really good looks. It's just been unsuccessful on the finish. So that's what I really want to see Paola do, is just find more successful shots to be able to knock down. But they're right in this game, Aaron. It's just about they just got to knock down the shots that are open.
Yeah, I mean, Paola, they've been able to generate a few more opportunities than we're used to seeing. It has just been the ability to finish on those. I don't believe we've seen them be able to drill any of their three-point attempts to this point in the first half.
I think it was Finley Heinrich they had just alone.
That's right, Heinrich's the big celebration right afterwards as Paola finds themselves in a deep hole here, entering the second half of play. We'll be right back with the third quarter here on Paola Sports Live, brought to you by Comcast Xfinity.
Places where people truly value relationships, where distance is measured in acres, and all roads lead to families on one mission: to provide for their loved ones, their community, and the world. That's where you'll find us. Generation after generation. Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Scott Hayka in Paola today.
Here at Strode Orthodontics, we are a single doctor practice, which means that I am the only orthodontist here in the practice. I will be the one guiding you through your care journey. With our experienced staff, your appointments will be more efficient and more comfortable. We love treating kids as well as adults. We want you to be happy with your experience during orthodontic treatment as well as your smile at the end. I love when patients tell me that their smile has improved their confidence and their quality of life, because a smile is for a lifetime. My name is Dr. Claire Strode. I'm the owner and orthodontist here at Strode Orthodontics. You may run into me out at the soccer fields or out on the baseball diamonds. The things that I love most about orthodontics are when patients tell me how much they enjoy their smile and how much more confidence they have after having their treatment. We love serving the families and people here in South Johnson County and also surrounding areas. And I look forward to serving you and your family.
Our whole vision of becoming the four-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house in Oklahoma, whether they're starting a business and expanding into Arkansas. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, whether it's home, auto, financial services, or even life insurance. We want to walk through the stages of life with our clients. That's the biggest part. That's what makes us different.
Back in out of the break here on Paola Sports Live. Start of the third quarter as Spring Hill with possession, looking to add to their lead. And I don't know if something was adjusted at halftime, but I really could have sworn it was 38-13 when we went to the break, but perhaps I was wrong.
So
as a foul going to be called there against Bryn Sanders.
So third.
That's what we'll focus on for now.
Whoa.
Shot for three. Off the rim, no good. Pitzer the rebound.
Smell came in flying on that deflection attempt there. And I think she's ready for softball season.
So get this one over to Smale, who goes right back to Hallie Ball. Going down low for Pitzer. Tipped out of play by Spring Hill.
It's a nice job by McConnell to read that backdoor cut by Pitzer. Just trying to go right to the basket.
Trying to get that one into Pitzer. It ultimately ends up in the hands of the freshman Ball. Now Pitzer down low for Smale. A wall of purple formed in front of her, so Paola has to reset. Pitzer running out of time. Tipped.
It was a shot clock violation, yeah.
Yeah, they'll say before Spring Hill got the handle on it, that was a violation against Paola. Here's Spring Hill. Still looking for the first points here this second half.
McConnell is trying to go baseline, and Pitzer just trying to jump that, trying to get herself right near the baseline to be able to create that opportunity for McConnell to be closed down. And I'm talking to Katzer and Schubert right now. Katzer's like, can I not extend an arm out on Schubert?
The answer is no. As we continue, and Ball ended up with it and was very, very quickly fouled.
I just look over at Katzer's talking to Smell, and she's like, yeah, I tried to put an arm bar on Schubert right there, but the referee told me to kind of just back off. So then it kind of just looked like she had an arm bar, but it was just like a few feet away from Schubert with her hand raised in the air.
There was certainly some facial expressions after the talking too, but Pitzer drives, does not go, and Meter collects the rebound.
Ooh. Sorry, the Panthers' third foul in this third quarter, and we're close to 2 minutes removed. And that smells fourth.
And that is not someone they want to lose in this or any ball game.
Smale just provides a really athletic prowess. That's someone that Paola really wants on that floor as a leader.
As we'll get a foul coming here. This one's an offensive foul going against the Panthers.
And there's Pitzer just extending the knee on the floater, and Pitzer has 4 now. So Smale and Pitzer have 4 fouls apiece. So again, when I say foul trouble for both teams is evident, I mean it. Should look because Keely Rodden has 3. I almost called her by her sister's name. My bad.
Going for the 3 there. That one not going to go. Shot. Off the rim, no good.
And I think they're going to get Canales for a foul. Or no, it looked to be it's going to be on Finley Heinrich. So we're shooting free throws.
That did not take particularly long at all.
So if I go back to the last game, Panthers only had 13 personal fouls. Broncos had just 9, so a combined 22 personal fouls between these two sides. And I look at today, and I think we're pretty much double that. Way more that mark.
It has been a foul-heavy contest, particularly from Paola. So they get this one up quickly to Canellis. They flirted with being in trouble early in the second quarter as well, but then somehow managed to, for the most part, stay away from that 5th foul for a long while. Not so much luck here in the third after they got to 4 quickly. They got to 5 just as quickly. We also have some word on that mysterious disappearing point that I was trying to point out earlier for the Panthers.
5-second violation there.
That one goes against Paola. I had noted that they had 13 points at the end of the half. I had failed to realize that they were not supposed to have one of those. One of those was rightfully Spring Hill's point, so that's where the confusion came in and why they were fiddling with the scoreboard at halftime. So
Gotcha.
They had been awarded a point for a Spring Hill free throw. That is the official word on where that point has disappeared to. As Heinrich comes down with that rebound, tries to get it quickly up to Canellis, who tipped it in play but didn't have a teammate in the area. Meter now for Spring Hill, twisting, and is fouled.
Yeah, Meter just had her back turned. Bristol right there defending, and Meter just trying to weave her way to be able to just have an open look at a shot. Again, this starts a rough stretch for the Panthers against the Broncos, because you had to play Spring Hill tonight, of course. You had Eudora last time out. You've got Tonganoxie and Baldwin still to face, and then you've got a Lewisburg team that's been playing really well so far and kept within single digits against the Spring Hill side. So this is a tough stretch for Paola, that they're in a win-now mode. They just need one win to try and get themselves even with Coffeyville. And I think they're just 2 away from being able to clinch that 16 seed. So it's going to be all hands on deck for Paola so far.
We'll see if some free throws help them out, as Hallie Ball will go to the line. She hits the first.
Spring Hill, you're looking at Dom, and you look up at the standings right now, and they're in kind of an interesting situation where there's about a 4-way tie for the top seeds, because Aquinas really only has 2 losses. There's no doubt that Aquinas might clinch that number 1 seed. And Brackett's going to pick up a foul here, but as I go back to the 5A standings, I believe Shawnee Heights, Basler Linwood, Piper, St. James Academy. That's a 4-way tie right there for second, the seeds 2 through 5. And then Spring Hill's right there with that 6 seed. It's an ankle breaker there.
Gives it off Canellis. Drives, shoots, just a bit offline, and then Brackett there to collect the rebound.
And Aaron, as you know, in UKC play, it's pretty tough, because Piper essentially has to finish their season against Basler. I think Heights has to play Basler as well again.
While we're talking about that, Cheatham with another fantastic play to get a brilliant shot off. Out to Wicker. No shot. Travel.
So here's the one team that you want to look out for, Aaron, is Basler Linwood. They have to play Heights tonight, and then they have Piper next week to end the season. So that's a really tough 2-game stretch right there. And that's all going to have to be Spring Hill has to win their next few as well. So it'll be interesting to see how the 5A seeds play out, especially with Basler having to play 2 teams in those top 4 seeds. If you lose both of those, you're pretty much pretty much out of luck. But the one thing you have to look at is Spring Hill has to play Eudora and Bonner, two teams that they've lost to. So Spring Hill has to win at least one to keep themselves alive for a home seeding.
It's going to be an exciting final stretch across many of our channels here on Varsity Sports Live. But before anyone's thinking about any of that, Aubrey Meter is going to be thinking about these free throws as she hits the first.
I think that's the last thing any team really wants to worry about is, you know, where they're seated right now. I think for both these teams, they just want to try and finish the season strong. For Paola, they just want to get another win on the board, at least two. They're going to have to win at least their next two games, and then hope things fall in their favor. But again, that's a tough stretch you're going to go against.
So quickly move it up court. Meter, got it!
Great ball movement, and yeah, ball is needing help there. Because everybody kind of just bailed up the floor, and Hallie's like, I need help up here.
Bassett. That ball tipped, and Meter sends it into the Paola bench. It'll be Panthers ball for the inbound. So we'll get another full line change here for Spring Hill.
The one thing, if you're a Panther fan right here, is you have to have a really deep bench, and you have to kind of just hope that nobody else fouls, because you're without Pitzer and Smill right now, who have 4. So you're working with a really deep rotation right now.
For 3. Oh, and it falls.
That was a high arcing shot right there by Canales. The second three-pointer made.
Tipped up into the air. Taken away by Wicker. Quickly to Canales. In on Herman, she's fouled, and Lola Canales will go to the line.
It's a tough take by Canales. You go one-on-one with Herman down in transition. Does a nice job of staying strong and just tossing it up. And you're putting the Broncos in the bonus here at the minute 44. So now's your chance to really grab some points if you can, essentially.
Won't be able to do it on the first. Second one right through. As Herman trying to make up for the foul, and she will.
It's those hesitation dribbles.
Going to the ground, putting that shot up, and was still able to hit it.
It's just the soft touch by Herman. Just go straight to the basket attack. Thought Heinrich had another.
Yeah, that one just barely off as it hit the front of the rim. Tell you what, she's much more comfortable with that quick release, evidently, than she is trying to wait and set that thing up. As a foul going against the Panthers, and that's going to send Harris directly to the free throw line.
So just a quick update. Looks to be Kylan Herman has ice on that ankle, so it looks like she's going to be done for this game. Broncos rolling right now.
You'd imagine probably the smart thing either way, even if she was feeling up to it, to get back out there. Not necessarily worth the risk unless Paola really starts to climb back into this thing. As Hallie Ball looking to maybe kickstart doing just that. Canales out to Hawkins.
I just say take your time with this possession. You're not in any rush. And lucky enough that McConnell just tipped it out of play.
Yeah, I guess there's no real way of knowing for sure most times that there's no Paola players standing behind you. It's just kind of a reflex to reach up and tip that out, but probably would have been better served not doing that. Canellis drives. And the shot clock is violated.
Oh, no.
Spring Hill thought they got the turnover first.
Yeah, that
Certainly
seemed
seemed
the
like they
discussion.
did.
Yeah, they did. I think McConnell had the turnover. So the question is, I think Paola might get the ball back unless they give it back to Spring Hill, but I think they're gonna stick with that. It is, in fact, a shot clock violation, and that the Broncos didn't get the steal first. So if they did say the steal was first, then it would have been Panther ball, because I believe they would have had McConnell down for a travel. But I think calling it for a shot clock violation before the steal was kind of the right call. Kind of just reset things.
Dishes. Oh, just offline. Rebound opportunity. That one doesn't go. McConnell with it. That one doesn't go. Ball still loose. Isla Herman finally puts it through.
Second, third, and fourth chance right there for the Broncos.
That one just kind of flung in the direction of the net. And the third quarter comes to an end. It's 52-17. Spring Hill rolling here on Paola Sports Live.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Welcome back in on Paola Sports Live. Spring Hill absolutely looking dominant here tonight against these Panthers. They've got the ball to begin the fourth quarter. Moving it around, shot, meter, offline, rebound, pulled in by Smale. So Pitzer and Smale both back out there on the floor for the Panthers. Each sitting at 4 fouls apiece as we enter the fourth quarter. That one taken away. Isla Herman back the other direction she goes. Oh, and they're going to get Smale for a foul. So she's going to foul out. And
That's
she
five,
thought,
yeah,
she thought that she had a very clean steal. And honestly, it's kind of difficult not to maybe see the case she's trying to plead. No, they're leaving her out there. They're going to say the foul was on Bryn Sanders, so it had nothing to do with the steal, evidently. It must have been away from the play, and I missed it.
I'm not sure. I think it might have been for maybe Sanders had to reach or something in. I'm not sure. Most likely they called since it was on the floor.
As Pitzer puts the shot up and through. Yeah, I just kind of naturally assumed it was on the actual act of the steal, in which Smale was the only defender in the area and is the one who took the ball away, but then it's Sanders they put up on the board, which does add yet another Panther to the 4-foul club. Herman gets her own rebound, kicks it outside. That shot won't go. Rebound brought in by Smale. Tipped, taken, on the floor. Smale gets to it, looking for a teammate, and gets it over to Pitzer. So awkward looking, but it does eventually just end up as Paola's possession. Here's Ball with it. Now to Wicker. Good movement here by Paola. Now over to Smale.
Great movement.
Heinrich, sorry. Now all the way over to Ball. Pitzer's open, so she'll take a three. Off the front of the rim, no good. Wicker the rebound. Going down low for Smale. There's just nothing opening up here for the Panthers. Looking for any kind of opening they can get, and thus far the only thing that Spring Hill has afforded them, as Amanda Pitzer, despite the lack of opening, able to put the shot up and through. Had been a long-range three. As a basket there for Spring Hill, we'll get another mass substitution here for the Broncos.
They'll take a timeout with them too, so let's take a quick timeout to kind of rotate the entire lineup. So starting 5 off and next 5 in.
More of a muddle huddle, I guess, than a full timeout taken. As Paola trying to work this thing around, it's Pitzer. Gets it over to Heinrich.
You and the football terminology, Aaron.
It's what I'm here for, as that ball comes loose and corralled there by Spring Hill.
Are you playing any more this summer?
Well, that's a good question there. I hadn't even really considered that I would be. What with last season an opportunity to play with my brother over in St. Louis.
Something I admire, that you're still out playing football.
It's a fun game. Who doesn't love a bit of fun here and there? You got to have your hobbies, Brennan.
Of course.
As that one a bit low and ends up in Spring Hill possession. Try to work their way in. Brackett, shot, not going to go, and Smale the rebound, and she draws the foul.
So you're saying it's a maybe?
A maybe, perhaps. So unfortunately, my helmet's now out of date.
Oh.
So I would have to purchase another one of those.
That'll cost you a pretty penny.
That they do. But if nothing else, the playing of localized football has taught me how to spray paint my own. So you know what, when I'm all said and done, Brennan, I might just be able to go get myself my own little decal Bears helmet to set in the man cave or something like that.
Ooh.
So we got a big collision there around the baseline, but able to hop right back up is Brooklyn Love, and she'll run back defensively and then be told that, no, you're needed for the inbound.
Brooklyn right there, kind of her and Schubert out there on the floor, kind of the definition of, you know, four-year players that have really stuck it out, and as much time as you may not have seen a varsity, they put in the hours and just make this team all around them better. So it's really their impact on this team. And you got to appreciate the time they get on the floor as well.
Pitzer trying to, and we'll see how they rule that one.
Ooh.
If that touched Love,
it did
before the ground, and it certainly looked like it did.
I think that's what Coach Tuttle's not too happy about.
Neither team is entirely convinced it's their ball yet. I thought Bassett was going to, but she's there we go. All right, so Paola will officially claim possession, and they'll get this one into Wicker.
Fort Gehring just had a tip on it.
Up to Bassett. Sends it over Kotzer, continuing to move this one around. And unfortunately moved it once too many times and right into the possession of London Cheatham, and then wide open back the other ways. Kaylee Schubert, sorry.
And Coach Butler will take a timeout, as I think, again, everybody's down the floor and you kind of need that outlet pass on the inbound. So I think it'll just be a timeout for subs.
Second time they fooled us, Brennan.
Yeah. Panther student section filling up. Both teams had a really impressive student section. These two teams played. It was Spring Hill's winter homecoming, so you know they had to pack the house. And since it's the Battle 169 Highway here in Paola, I think you got to pack the house here as well.
So get this one to Sanders. Oh, that one came off on an awkward line and just ended up banking square in. I thought she had lost possession of it when she first started going
I thought
up.
she did too. It kind of just looked a bit awkward off her hands, but just banks that one in. How about it?
Shot, bangs it in. So Brooklyn Love responds back the other way.
There you go. It's one of the two seniors to get in the scoring column. Schubert did. Brooklyn Love there as well.
And Paola try to get something worked back the other way in the final few moments of this ball game. Good effort there from Hawkins to keep possession with the Panthers. Gets it out to Bassett. She'll shoot a three. Ramps off.
Over the
And
back.
yeah, good hard foul there by Spring Hill. I believe it was Wicker who stood in there and was able to generate it.
Strain out the final seconds.
That is what they'll do. 62-23, Spring Hill able to get the victory here in Paola. We'll step aside briefly. We'll have some post-game show coming at you next. And then the second game of our doubleheader here on Paola Sports Live, brought to you by Comcast Xfinity.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Panther fans can find us at 310 North Hospital Drive in Paola or 913-294-3713. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Hi, I'm Katie Casey, and I'm honored to be a third-generation realtor in our Crown Realty family. My dad and grandparents started Crown Realty in 1973, and since then we have grown to become one of the largest brokerages in the Midwest. We now have 8 office locations and over 150 agents covering about 20 counties across Kansas and Missouri. Reach out to us today to experience the Crown Realty difference, where we are committed to treating our agents like family and our clients like royalty.
Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Stos with Paola Vet Clinic. We'd like to thank you for trusting us with the care of your pets and large animals. At Paola Vet Clinic, we're proud to be your hometown veterinarians who know and care about your family. We provide cutting-edge diagnostic services, digital radiology, ultrasound, and in-house same-day blood work, chiropractic, and reproductive services. Come in and see us at our new location here in Paola in the Industrial Park with indoor cattle and equine facilities complete with a hydraulic tip chute. With a team of 11 veterinarians, our commitment to this community makes Paola Vet Clinic the vets you can trust.
See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by. Hers Incorporated in Spring Hill is your area's premier small engine repair shop. Before you replace that faulty trimmer or mower, let our experts get you back to work. And if you are in the market for a new handheld, we carry Maruyama and Red Max trimmers. Plus, Hers is still the best place for hydraulic hoses, cylinder repair, and mechanical control cables. If that's not enough, we're also a UPS drop-off location. To learn more, visit us at hersinc.net, call 913-247-3530, or just stop on by.
Post-game show for our first game here, brought to you by brought to you by Elliott Insurance Group. At Elliott Group, they believe building strong relationships with their clients and their community is the best way to serve them both. With offices throughout the area and online at ElliottInsuranceGroup.com. Spring Hill looked fairly dominant in the first game, Brennan. They were able to take that one by over 40 over Paola, and now looking for the sweep once again for the second time this last couple of weeks. But the Panthers are going to have something to say about that. Men's game came down to just a 5-point ball game the last time these two teams met, and Paola looking for a bit of revenge here in the second ball game of our doubleheader.
Yeah, and I mean, hats off to Paola for coming out and competing, and I think the one thing that kind of prevented them from making a bigger impact was the foul trouble they got themselves in. It was every single quarter they put the Broncos in the bonus. Broncos had a quarter in the bonus as well, but again, you can't put yourself in the bonus and have your senior leaders with 4 fouls already. That just can't happen at all when you put yourselves in situations like that. So, and you kind of looked similar in the boys' game. You had I believe it was Lane Hoffine with 4 fouls, and Hoyt was also up there in fouls as well. So for the Panthers, I think you got to keep out of foul trouble, and you got to convert on the free throws. Their free throw percentage was just a little bit under their average this season, but they got to convert on the free throws tonight if they want to keep themselves in this game.
That should be another good contest here as the Panthers look to battle it out against Spring Hill, a battle of two teams with very similar records. Obviously, Spring Hill 5A, Paola 4A, but Paola coming in 12-7, Spring Hill 11-8 on the year. And the first game looked just like that. Second game should be more of the same. We'll be back with that second game of our doubleheader after the break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Paola Sports Live, brought to you by Comcast Xfinity.
Protect what matters most with Scott Hayka at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Paola. With years of experience, Scott and his team will deliver trusted insurance and financial solutions for families, farmers, and businesses as they prepare for life's challenges. Whether it's auto, home, farm and ranch, life insurance, or retirement and financial planning, it's your future. Let's protect it. Stop by 11 South Pearl or call 913-294-2737. Scott Hayka, your local Farm Bureau agent, helping protect your family, your livelihood, and your future.
This Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming.
Next up, boom time. The Wi-Fi booming. The Wi-Fi is booming like a
10x double unicorn IPO.
Scream me sideways. It's bursting with Wi-Fi.
Now everyone who knows a boom when they see one is going to want in.
The Wi-Fi's booming.
Every tax season a villain rises.
Keep those numbers messy. I thrive on confusion.
But when overpayment strikes, a hero answers the call.
You can't save them all, Captain.
Watch me. Prime Accounting, fighting for your deductions, protecting your refund. Don't let Tax Luther take your refund. Join Team Prime today. Power to the people who fight.
To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
The University of Kansas Health System is proud to be the official healthcare provider of the Kansas City Chiefs. Both organizations know excellence comes through their actions. It's about giving support and collaborating together. It's providing comfort and leadership to forge the path to success. The University of Kansas Health System cares for you in every moment, no matter how small. Learn more at kansashealthsystem.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Hounds Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Up your lawn care game at Hers Inc. in Spring Hill. We have one of the area's largest and most diverse selections of lawnmowers, including top brands like Altos, Bobcat, Gravely, Dixie Chopper, and Red Max. Quality built machines for any size job. And when you get your mower at Hers, we offer full service and repairs covered by your warranty. From the backyard to the back 40, the all-star lineup of mowers at Hers will make you the captain of the lawn. See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by.
I was raised in a small town, and there was a lot of people who took time to invest in me. And so when we decided to open up our offices, we want to make sure that we're pouring back into the community that's giving to us. We care. We want to be involved. We want to have a passion for what you have a passion for. We want to be able to give back. And that's the foundation. That's why we're more than just insurance.
If you're going to wear jewelry, shouldn't it be as unique as you? At Wilson's Jewelers, they can bring your ideas to life. Wilson's can also put old stones in new pieces, or new stones in old pieces, or even just repair what you already love. Wilson's Jewelers brings quality service and old world craftsmanship to the area by learning from jewelry masters from around the world. For 30 years, Wilson's Jewelers has been family owned and operated. When it comes to your adornments, trust Wilson's Jewelers, your personal jeweler.
My experience at Strode Orthodontics was amazing. Like most people who had their first round of braces, I forgot to wear my retainer and so therefore had crooked teeth. I got engaged this year. I wanted straight teeth for my wedding, and so Dr. Strode was able to give me Invisalign, and now I have the straight smile that I've always wanted. We're gonna get such a welcoming experience here. The day of my wedding, I'm not going to be scared to take pictures. Now I can finally be confident with my smile on that big day.
Up your lawn care game at Hers Inc. in Spring Hill. We have one of the area's largest and most diverse selections of lawnmowers, including top brands like Altos, Bobcat, Gravely, Dixie Chopper, and Red Max. Quality built machines for any size job. And when you get your mower at Hers, we offer full service and repairs covered by your warranty. From the backyard to the back 40, the all-star lineup of mowers at Hers will make you the captain of the lawn. See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by.
Looking for a taste of home-cooked goodness and a welcoming hometown atmosphere? Look no further than Circle C Cafe in Paola. Indulge in mouth-watering breakfast that'll jumpstart your day, or savor the hearty lunches with farm-fresh ingredients that'll make your taste buds dance. Circle C Cafe, where delicious food and friendly faces come together. Stop in and see them at 1305 Baptiste in Paola. Circle C Cafe, hometown flavors, hometown pride. Find them at facebook.com/Circle C Cafe.
Hers Incorporated in Spring Hill is your area's premier small engine repair shop. Before you replace that faulty trimmer or mower, let our experts get you back to work. And if you are in the market for a new handheld, we carry Maruyama and Red Max trimmers. Plus, Hers is still the best place for hydraulic hoses, cylinder repair, and mechanical control cables. If that's not enough, we're also a UPS drop-off location. To learn more, visit us at hersinc.net, call 913-247-3530, or just stop on by.
Hello, customer. State reason for visit.
It's a long story.
You can say claim, billing, or something else.
Can I talk to someone else?
Transferring now. Hello, customer. State reason for visit.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we treat people like people.
How can I help?
It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Scott Haka in Paola today.
There are places where people truly value relationships, where distance is measured in acres, and all roads lead to families on one mission: to provide for their loved ones, their community, and the world. That's where you'll find us. Generation after generation. Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Scott Haka in Paola today.
Iron Horse Family and Cosmetic Dentistry and Dr. Laura's Orthodontics are committed to providing quality health care for area families. With comprehensive solutions, Iron Horse Dental and Dr. Laura's Orthodontics will listen and take the time to truly understand your needs, goals, and lifestyle. State-of-the-art equipment, techniques, and facilities combined with a new approach to oral care. That's what you get with Iron Horse Family and Cosmetic Dentistry and Dr. Laura's Orthodontics. To learn more, visit them online at drlaurasortho.com or ironhorsedental.com. Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Panther fans can find us at 310 North Hospital Drive in Paola or 913-294-3713. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Hi, I'm Katie Casey, and I'm honored to be a third-generation realtor in our Crown Realty family. My dad and grandparents started Crown Realty in 1973, and since then we have grown to become one of the largest brokerages in the Midwest. We now have 8 office locations and over 150 agents covering about 20 counties across Kansas and Missouri. Reach out to us today to experience the Crown Realty difference, where we are committed to treating our agents like family and our clients like royalty.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by.
There are places where all roads lead to families providing for their loved ones and their community, where friends are found down every street. That's where you'll find us, taking time to get to know you, calling you by name, generation after generation. Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Scott Haka in Paola today.
If you're going to wear jewelry, shouldn't it be as unique as you? At Wilson's Jewelers, they can bring your ideas to life. Wilson's can also put old stones in new pieces, or new stones in old pieces, or even just repair what you already love. Wilson's Jewelers brings quality service and old world craftsmanship to the area by learning from jewelry masters from around the world. For 30 years, Wilson's Jewelers has been family owned and operated. When it comes to your adornments, trust Wilson's Jewelers, your personal jeweler.
There were your starting lineups here for game number 2 of our doubleheader. As opening tip-off, just mere moments away, brought to you by Miami Lumber, servicing Miami County since 1983. Located at 1014 North Pearl Street in Paola, open Monday through Friday, 7 to 5, and Saturdays, 8 to 3. Miami Lumber, your homegrown home improvement store. Like us on Facebook.
One noticeable change for Spring Hill, no Grant Gebhardt. He's kind of normally that one of the starters that normally kind of gets flipped around a little bit. It'll be Braden Brenner instead, and I really like this move because it provides some sort of perimeter shooting, and Brenner's just been a steady, solid senior player for the Broncos. So it'll be Gebhardt's starting on the bench this time, and Brenner instead with the start. Then I think, interestingly enough, Lloyd Hoffine to start on the bench.
Now that is certainly a fascinating recent development here. He certainly appears to be fine. He missed a couple of games earlier on in the season. That was a few weeks ago due to an illness. But when he was ill, he wasn't here at all. So the fact he was in warm-ups doing just fine and is over there on the bench tells us this is more than likely just a coaching decision to have a different starting 5 out there. No injury designation that we know of. As Bassett, just a bit of a miscommunication there, trying to get it over to Blackmore, and an early turnover for the Panthers.
Broncos letting Brooks Byer do the work down low on that first offensive possession, and the Broncos just over the head, tossed it away. Or the Panthers, I should say, my apologies, but it's not the start you want if you're Paola. Got to just play a little bit more composed.
Quick cycle here, and a travel going to be called against Spring Hill. So Braden Brenner in there, as you mentioned, the senior presence as a last-minute shift over from Gebhardt's. And ends up guilty on the travel as Paola will work this one up. Right to the rim. Oh, and got a little too far, did Gannon Miller, and put that thing right off the bottom of the rim.
Broncos rocking the black jerseys today. Bruce, I think, trying to rip it away, and they're going to get Blackmore for a foul. This will be interesting to see. It's going to be a matter of which team can start off hot first.
Well, the only points thus far belong to Spring Hill, so I guess you can count that. But thus far, it's been mostly sound defense both sides. Out of play, last off the Broncos, it'll be Panther ball.
They're just trying to roll off a lot of contact there, and just passes a bit detoured to Miller in the corner.
This will be Landon Murdoch over to Blackmore, now up to Bassett. Quick movement here from the Panthers.
For the Broncos, they want to be able to have a home playoff game.
And I was wondering when they were going to go to that one. Lane Hoffine, 6'8", and based on the rosters we have up here, assuming all heights accurate, he and Hoyt Hoffine, who's now over by the scorekeeper's table, waiting to get subbed in, both will have fairly monstrous height advantages over anyone that Spring Hill has to throw out there against them. Tipped, taken away by Blackmore. Races on to get to the rim, and he put a little too much on it. It's one of my old high school classmates, Matt Moore, who currently coaches at Columbia College, used to tell us, layups are hard. Three-pointers not looking so hard there, though. What a shot from Eli Hedrick.
So I like to call him Heat Check Hedrick. When he drains one, he gets them in bunches. And normally it takes 2 or 3 misses to kind of get a first make for him, but that time, first shot for him, he drills it.
Oh, what a pass there from Bassett. Gets that one over to Landon Murdoch, who goes back to Bassett. And what a game early on we've got between these two squads as they go down low to Lane Hoffine, back out And Landon Murdoch ties it at 5.
There's Landon Murdoch. Athleticism runs in that family. The baby of the family, I should say.
Oh, let's see if we can get another three-pointer. Oh, that one just ricocheted around and hopped back out. Eli Hedrick, not a bad shot. Just a bit less ball luck than he had last time. Bassett drives in, puts up the shot, and the Panthers lead for the first time.
It's a great hop step by Bassett down low.
And taken away by Lane Hoffine. You were saying, Brennan.
Yeah, Bassett's a great scorer. He's kind of really developed his game since starting as a freshman. He's kind of developed some chemistry. He's played club ball with both the Hoffine twins and a few other people in the Frontier League as well.
Some great work there by Gannon Miller to get into position and get those feet set just in the nick of time. Causes the charge as Brooks Bayer was trying to get down low. That was pretty bang bang. The official side the way of Paola.
So Spring Hill will go to 2. For Paola, they got Hoyt Hoffine in, who was in quite a bit of foul trouble in the last game, but he had a monstrous performance. Or his Lane, I should say, they had a lot of foul trouble, but Hoyt had 16 for the Panthers in that game. And here's Lane stealing the show there.
And Lane Hoffine going to the left hand, just finding a route to the rim. Oh, and speaking of a route to the rim, down low, wide open, puts that one up and through, and a foul called as well.
Sam Harris down low, and I know that's kind of a number change. The only time he wears number 20 is in the black uniforms. Otherwise, he's in the 20s. I think he's number 32, actually, but there's Sam Harris. He's kind of really developed to be quite a piece for Coach Bouchard. Played basketball at Metro Academy. He was one of 10 guys to leave that program, actually. So Metro Academy, kind of a basketball school out of Shawnee, kind of my neck of the woods. Had a completely new staff. A late foul. And that was basically kind of going the other way when they called that.
The whistle certainly seemed to come a bit late, and the official kind of looking back to see what it was that Lane Hoffine was going to say to the student section. So just making sure that all language stayed on this side of family friendly.
And Coach Oshel was kind of in disbelief on that one. He's still trying to plead his case there.
Well, that's going to tie it at 9. Regardless of any case that gets plead, they're not going to take that one off the scoreboard. And an opportunity for Spring Hill to recapture the lead here. And they will.
For Spring Hill, you know, they're coming off a win against Lewisburg, a big-time win. There's a big-time turnover for them. Yeah, they won that game 60-28, and that was Lewisburg's first game with an interim coach. So you can imagine what the process of that was like. And the Broncos, they lost back-to-back games for the first time this season. For the first time this season. So realistically, the Broncos just wanted to find a groove.
See if they can find that down low right here. Not going to go, and then Lane Hoffine comes down with the rebound, gets it quickly up to Hoyt Hoffine. Well defended by Spring Hill there. Again, you're going to have to get creative and make sure that you play physical in the paint when you're giving up a significant height advantage. They got two Hoffines out there that are both going to pose a problem. But right there it was defended brilliantly by the Broncos, and then the ball tipped out of play by Spring Hill. Will give Paola an opportunity at an inbound. It'll be Stephen Bassett to trigger it.
And time called is now they're talking to the looks to be referee confrontation. I think it's on who the foul is on. Let's shoot to Gebhard's. Jordan Miller. Okay.
Well, they get this one in, and we play on. Landon Murdoch over to Hoyt Hoffine. That's too many steps, and a travel call against the Panthers.
Look at this. You look at it this way. Paola. They're going to substitute too, but kind of back to my point. Broncos, they were coming off a loss against Topeka Seaman. First time they faced off this year, and you know, it's hard enough to guard one of the best players in the state of Kansas in KV Bonner, who had an impressive performance. So I think the one thing the Broncos have to do is they kind of have to make the Panthers be a balanced team. If you let one player, the Broncos let one player get hot, they'll score in bunches, and that's what really hurts them. So I think the one thing you have to do is limit the opportunities for the Hoffine twins. Because if they got hot, I believe Hoyt's coming off a 20-plus point performance last game.
And that shot just offline, and now Lane Hoffine, who you just mentioned, able to get that rebound. They go outside with it. Down low, Gherkin. Poked out of his possession, and it's kept alive by Spring Hill. What a game, back and forth on each end for these two squads. Driving, unable to get it. Loose ball corralled by Murdoch. Landon Murdoch trying to weave his way through this defense. Now he decides that the numbers weren't to his liking, so he hits the brakes.
Both these teams playing fast. You love it. If you want to beat a team, you got to play fast.
Out to Murdoch. Paola moving it well to Lane Hoffine. Now to Gherkin again. Back out to Lane Hoffine. Puts up a shot off the rim. No good. Rebound corralled there by Jackson Bruce.
They gave Hoffine a look where they had 4 on him. He backs it out. They go right back to him.
And
smothered.
Jackson Bruce drills the 3.
That was pretty much about half court almost.
Paola gets it into the hands of Troy Leonard. Now to Landon Murdoch. Drives, breaks, back outside. Miller for 3, and there's the answer.
You talk about an answer, Aaron.
Well, this is the lineup, other than Bassett out there, that Paola would like to generate such an answer. They've got 3 guys out there that they really like from three-point range. The only player out there that would pretty much just make it the three-point shooting lineup, as we just mentioned, is 5. And he's coming in now.
Yeah. As I said, Bruce traveled in that last one. For the Panthers, I think the one thing you want to do to start off this second quarter is score after you get a turnover called on the Broncos. That'll be some good momentum for them head to the second quarter.
Yeah, and this is quite a ball game here in this first quarter between these two sides. Tipped away. This could be a turnover. Turn points back the other way. Lost it. Has to give it back to Bruce, and they'll salvage points out of the endeavor. And a foul right off the bat against Spring Hill as Paola was bringing it back up court, but they're only going to have 2.2 seconds to try to make something of it.
They attacked Mikey Beck for that one, and Mikey Beck, the cornerback for the Broncos football team. Ooh.
As that one just off the backboard, no good. 15-12, Spring Hill in front as we head to the second quarter here on Paola Sports Live, brought to you by Comcast Xfinity.
Auction Bank, community banking at its best. Member FDIC, equal housing.
Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Stills with Paola Vet Clinic.
We'd like to thank you for trusting us with the care of your pets and large animals. At Paola Vet Clinic, we're proud to be your hometown veterinarians who know and care about your family. We provide cutting-edge diagnostic services, digital radiology, ultrasound, and in-house same-day blood work, chiropractic, and reproductive services. Come in and see us at our new location here in Paola in the Industrial Park with indoor cattle and equine facilities complete with a hydraulic tip chute. With a team of 11 veterinarians, our commitment to this community makes Paola Vet Clinic the vets you can trust.
Back in, start of the second quarter. Panthers down by 3, they've got the ball. Going down low, he was looking for Hoyt Hoffine, just a miscommunication, as I'm not sure Hoffine ever turned his head to look for that.
No, and he was trying to beat a double team, trying to go to the face cut down in the low block, but I think Murdoch was anticipating that Hoffine would go straight through that contact, but unfortunately didn't.
Down low, Bear. Back up top. Spring Hill moving it nicely. Back outside to Bear. They'll let him pull back, take the 3, not gonna go, and then Lane Hoffine comes down with the rebound. Quickly up to Bassett. Tipped into the air. Bear comes down with it.
Brooks Byer, being the defensive end he is, he's an incredible athlete.
Bruce outside for 3. Got it! What a shot from Peyton McAvoy, the senior.
McAvoy's another guy with range on this team. Kind of injured to start the year, but has slowly found himself back in a groove, and he's appeared in pretty much every single game since returning from injury.
And they'll say no shot. The foul came before the motion to get up into the air.
It's a simple push down low. And give Mikey Beck his second personal foul.
So Bassett will send it in to Hoyt Hoffine. Going down low, that's taken away, and here comes Bear back the other way. Bassett, oh, he almost had the steal, couldn't quite get it, and then poked out a play last off Lane Hoffine.
Yeah, Hoffine, I believe, is the last one to touch it, and he's trying to plead his case to no avail, but.
Now maybe I've got a bad angle of it, but that is an incredible sell job he's going for there, because I don't think anyone but him touched it in any conceivable order. That shot just offline. Lane Hoffine comes down with the rebound. Quickly up court to Hoyt Hoffine. Hops through, puts it up and in.
That's just a nice post move there by Hoffine. You hop step through everything in the lane. Broncos got to connect on something to keep themselves in this one.
Sends it far side, Baird. Oh, that one's blocked. Lane Hoffine denied him. And then gets it quickly up to Hoyt Hoffine. Now to Murdoch. Tipped. Somehow Bassett came down with it. That ball's still loose, and it's out of bounds.
And McAvoy.
Yeah, they'll say last touched by McAvoy, as you just mentioned. Get a quick substitution here for Spring Hill.
Harrison Brenner in for McAvoy and Byer. And then Bassett's out, and I think Blackmore checked back in.
Sure looks like it. Hoffine for 3. Hoyt Hoffine drills it. What's he doing way out there?
He can knock him down. I've seen him knock down several shots from the perimeter. He can do it.
Hoyt Hoffine, certainly a talented shooter from distance. But at 6'8", it almost kind of catches you off guard. 3-point response, that one off the rim, no good. Lane Hoffine able to get to it. They'll get it back to Hoyt Hoffine, now to Gannon Miller, and to Blackmore.
Panthers, nice job just being patient, swinging the ball around.
Batted back to Murdoch, and then he lost it. Hoyt Hoffine's in a 2-on-1. Shot will not go. And is that a foul?
It
Looks
is,
like
yeah.
it will be against Paola.
Miller got triple teamed, so really any direction he tried to go with the basketball is going to be collecting some contact.
I think Miller was trying to get a hand in there to force a jump ball, and not enough ball and a bit too much forearm on the contact.
I must ask though, Aaron, is it just me, or does the town of Paola just grow incredible mustaches? I mean, you look at him at Blackmore here, he's got a nice mustache. There's a kid in the front row rocking a mustache. I mean, is that just a common trend in Paola to just grow a mustache?
Maybe they'll switch their official team name to the Paola Proboscis. As Emmett Blackmore gives this one to Murdoch, goes far side to Miller. Good physical defense being played by Spring Hill, and it doesn't matter. Paola turns it into points. They've got the lead back. I was going to say has been played all night long. Paola has not found easy points down low. But easy or difficult, they were able to find points regardless on that last possession, and Lane Hoffine's going to want to be a little bit more careful. He's getting very frustrated with the foul calls, but at this level here at high school, you are not going to want to spend too much time talking to the officials.
No, I think we've seen it this year, is that you definitely have a shorter leash when it comes to talking to officials.
We learned on one of our broadcasts this year that some of them will showcase a little bit of basketball gamesmanship from time to time as well.
Yeah, and
I don't know if you saw the clip from the Eudora game a while back, but
yeah.
We'll leave it there as Landon Murdoch will bring this one back up court. Oh,
wow.
Some trouble there. That spot has now given some players issues in back-to-back games, and it's that spot specifically. I don't know if anyone wants to take a look, see if there's maybe some excess sweat pooling up right there or what. But turnovers back-to-back for each of these sides ultimately. This will be Lane Hoffine trying to back his man down, and will get a foul before the shot.
I think they're going to attack Hedrick for that one. They are, yeah. Trying to just get around, and got a bit too much there. Yeah, and Coach Bouchard's trying to say that Hoffine stepped over the line.
No call for it as of yet. They get it to Lane Hoffine down low, and he adds two more to the Paola score.
It's still a one-possession game, so both teams aren't out of the clear yet.
That one just off the rim, and then Lane Hoffine adding another rebound to his total.
Panthers have had a really good paint presence. It's been really hard for the Broncos to find points in the paint.
Hoyt Hoffine, speaking of points in the paint, spins his way in, and Spring Hill's going to use a timeout with 2:15 to go here in the first half. We'll step aside. You're watching Paola Sports Live, brought to you by Comcast Xfinity.
I was raised in a small town, and there was a lot of people who took time to invest in me. And so when we decided to open up our offices, we want to make sure that we're pouring back into the community that's giving to us. We care. We want to be involved. We want to have a passion for what you have a passion for. We want to be able to give back. And that's the foundation. That's why we're more than just insurance.
Back in out of the quick timeout. Paola with a 5-point lead, Spring Hill with the ball. And we'll see what they cooked up out of that timeout here, Brennan, as they look to cut into this Panther advantage.
I think offensively, they just have to find some sort of new identity. They really tried to drive and force tough shots up and try and collect some fouls and use the height of disadvantage to the Hoffine twins. And right there, they find their stride in the perimeter game.
Yeah, Barnett drills another three. Spring Hill's been solid from long range here in this first half. Out to Troy Leonard looking for the answer, just offline.
Henry Barnett's been really good from the perimeter, one of Spring Hill's most steady shooters on this team.
Now he's got it, he's looking to get down low. Finds himself in the presence of a redwood down there, essentially, as Lane Hoffine stood between him and the rim and denied him.
Just kind of had to move it around there if you want to get past the Hoffine twins.
Paola going to try to use them offensively as well, which they do successfully.
Hoffine twins are rolling today. They've just been playing bully ball down low.
Down into the final minute of the half, 4-point game again in the hands of Barnett. He gives this one over. This is Hedrick. He's been lethal from three-point range as well, and again, he will try to drive in. Shot won't go. Gherkin comes down with the rebound.
Again, trying to go up and collect a foul. Not been too critical on the foul calls on the shot. It's been more on the defensive side in terms of the block and positioning.
Leonard made a good jump on that one, but didn't quite mind the feet there. So he ended up corralling it with both feet firmly out in the black. Shot clock turned off with 23.8 seconds here for Spring Hill. As they'll slow things down here. Spins. Play some catch with it. Down to single digits. Looking for the final shot of the half. Can he work in on Gherkin? Sends it outside Bayer with Lane Hoffine in his face, and that hit up top, and that's going to be Paola ball with 0.8 seconds. I can't imagine much is going to happen offensively here, but a great defensive series for the Panthers.
It's been quite the game so far. It's a two-possession game, but it's been so close every single second. I'm excited to see what the second half can bring.
Yeah, this has been a phenomenal ball game through one half. We'll see if we've got an equally excellent second half here on Paola Sports Live, brought to you by Comcast Xfinity.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Hounds Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Our whole vision of becoming the 4-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house in Oklahoma, whether they're starting a business and expanding into Arkansas. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, whether it's home, auto, financial services, or even life insurance. We want to walk through the stages of life with our clients. That's the biggest part. That's what makes us different.
Here at Strode Orthodontics, we are a single doctor practice, which means that I am the only orthodontist here in the practice. I will be the one guiding you through your care journey. With our experienced staff, your appointments will be more efficient and more comfortable. We love treating kids as well as adults. We want you to be happy with your experience during orthodontic treatment as well as your smile at the end. I love when patients tell me that their smile has improved their confidence and their quality of life, because a smile is for a lifetime. My name is Dr. Claire Strode. I'm the owner and orthodontist here at Strode Orthodontics. You may run into me out at the soccer fields or out on the baseball diamonds. The things that I love most about orthodontics are when patients tell me how much they enjoy their smile and how much more confidence they have after having their treatment. We love serving the families and people here in South Johnson County and also surrounding areas. And I look forward to serving you and your family.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
For 50 years, Elliott Group has been your local insurance partner. With 5 convenient locations, Elliott Group is big enough to offer the best carriers, but small enough to know your name and your insurance needs. Elliott Group is more than just insurance. They're a part of each community they serve, with a wide variety of insurance solutions to help your unique challenges. Elliott Group, where they're there for you today and for years to come. Visit them at any of their 5 locations or at ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Hi, I'm Katie Casey, and I'm honored to be a third-generation realtor in our Crown Realty family. My dad and grandparents started Crown Realty in 1973, and since then we have grown to become one of the largest brokerages in the Midwest. We now have 8 office locations and over 150 agents covering about 20 counties across Kansas and Missouri. Reach out to us today to experience the Crown Realty difference, where we are committed to treating our agents like family and our clients like royalty.
Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Stoes with Paola Vet Clinic. We'd like to thank you for trusting us with the care of your pets and large animals. At Paola Vet Clinic, we're proud to be your hometown veterinarians who know and care about your family. We provide cutting-edge diagnostic services, digital radiology, ultrasound, and in-house same-day blood work, chiropractic, and reproductive services. Come in and see us at our new location here in Paola in the Industrial Park with indoor cattle and equine facilities complete with a hydraulic tip chute. With a team of 11 veterinarians, our commitment to this community makes Paola Vet Clinic the vets you can trust.
Hello, customer. State reason for visit.
It's a long story.
You can say claim, billing, or something else.
Can I talk to someone else?
Transferring now. Hello, customer. State reason for visit.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we treat people like people.
How can I help?
It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Scott Haka in Paola today.
There are places where all roads lead to families providing for their loved ones and their community, where friends are found down every street. That's where you'll find us, taking time to get to know you, calling you by name, generation after generation. Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Scott Haka in Paola today.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Hounds Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
There are places where people truly value relationships, where distance is measured in acres, and all roads lead to families on one mission: to provide for their loved ones, their community, and the world. That's where you'll find us. Generation after generation. Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Scott Haka in Paola today.
Iron Horse Family and Cosmetic Dentistry and Dr. Laura's Orthodontics are committed to providing quality health care for area families. With comprehensive solutions, Iron Horse Dental and Dr. Laura's Orthodontics will listen and take the time to truly understand your needs, goals, and lifestyle. State-of-the-art equipment, techniques, and facilities combined with a new approach to oral care. That's what you get with Iron Horse Family and Cosmetic Dentistry and Dr. Laura's Orthodontics. To learn more, visit them online at drlaurasortho.com or ironhorsedental.com. For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Looking for a taste of home-cooked goodness in a welcoming hometown atmosphere? Look no further than Circle C Cafe in Paola. Indulge in mouth-watering breakfast that'll jumpstart your day or savor the hearty lunches with farm-fresh ingredients that'll make your taste buds dance. Circle C Cafe, where delicious food and friendly faces come together. Stop in and see them at 1305 Baptiste in Paola. Circle C Cafe, hometown flavors, hometown pride. Find them at facebook.com/Circle C Cafe.
My name is Dr. Claire Strode. I'm the owner and orthodontist here at Strode Orthodontics. You may run into me out at the soccer fields or out on the baseball diamonds. The things that I love most about orthodontics are when patients tell me how much they enjoy their smile and how much more confidence they have after having their treatment. We love serving the families and people here in South Johnson County and also surrounding areas. And I look forward to serving you and your family.
Hers Incorporated in Spring Hill is your area's premier small engine repair shop. Before you replace that faulty trimmer or mower, let our experts get you back to work. And if you are in the market for a new handheld, we carry Maruyama and Red Max trimmers. Plus, Hers is still the best place for hydraulic hoses, cylinder repair, and mechanical control cables. If that's not enough, we're also a UPS drop-off location. To learn more, visit us at hersinc.net, call 913-247-3530, or just stop on by.
Our whole vision of becoming the four-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house in Oklahoma, whether they're starting a business and expanding into Arkansas. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, whether it's home, auto, financial services, or even life insurance. We want to walk through the stages of life with our clients. That's the biggest part. That's what makes us different.
Back in out of the halftime break as the Panthers hold a slim 4-point lead over the Spring Hill Broncos. Should be Spring Hill possession to begin the second half. As we've got a doozy here from Paola High School.
A lot of fireworks so far, and if there's anything evident, it's that both these teams have developed an identity offensively, and defensively, both teams are really settling in, so it's a matter of how could you stop the other team from, keeping that offensive identity they had. For Paola, they've really dominated the paint. The Broncos, they've had a lot of success from the outside.
And here they're going to get an opportunity from the free throw line. As you had talked about there late in the first half, the discrepancy between these two teams' ability to generate points down low right by the post. Obviously wasn't able to get the basket, but Bayer able to earn himself a trip to the free throw line. And earns himself a quick bit of howling from the Paola student section amid those free throws.
Yeah, I heard a football. I heard a shade of football there, so.
And 0 for 2, which is going to get some strong reactions from that same student section. I believe this should be Spring Hill ball.
It is, yeah.
It looks like it will be.
They were chirping at him all right, and for Byer, who was one of the nation's or the state's top defensive players as a junior, gave Paola a lot of troubles. But if there's anything we remember from football, that game was quite something.
Certainly was there in that first half, and this one no different as a 3 knocked down there for Spring Hill, and Paola looking for a quick answer.
Yeah, that's been the bread and butter for Spring Hill so far, is the perimeter shooting, and I think Coach Oshel can't play. Don't think
he was open.
He doesn't have much. He doesn't have eligibility, so.
And so Spring Hill will bring it back the other way. Looking now to try to take the lead. Paola still looking for their first points of this second half. Spring Hill off to a decent start. Got the 3, got the turnover. Now they'll try to turn it into 2 and recapture the lead.
That's all from that nice back cut by Jordan Miller.
And now a takeaway. Blackmore tried to get the charge. Didn't go, and a timeout taken by the Panthers. It's a 3-point Spring Hill advantage as we step aside. 6:31 to go here in the third quarter on Paola Sports Live.
See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by.
So out of the break, we'll see what Paola cooked up in the brief timeout. That wasn't a full. So I'm not positive if they were able to really do much in the way of game planning or drawing anything up specifically, or if that was just a, all right, everyone get out of your heads type of a timeout.
It's kind of what I believe it was. Just a matter of turnovers, a steal, and the Broncos finding themselves back in this game. It was just kind of a reset timeout.
And how Landon Murdoch managed to dip and dive his way through that Spring Hill defense, I'm not sure, but it'll ultimately result in no points after a blocked shot on the back end. Oh, and denied by Lane Hoffine with some of vengeance there.
Blocks on both ends, and Hoffine with the size, and Bruce is able to get the vertical and just slap it off the backboard. Again, both teams came to play defensively.
Gets this one into Byer. Now over to Bruce. Thought about the 3, now decides to drive in. He's fouled, and Jackson Bruce will go to the line.
Lane Hoffine didn't like that one at all. He's kind of getting feedback from the ref. The Broncos, they're now starting to get the shooting fouls they've wanted. Not sure what that one was, but
the Goblin Hunt comment must have really messed with him. Jackson Bruce, normally one of the better shooters on this team, that one airballed.
The Broncos have had quite the roller coaster with the free throw percentage this season. They've been on the right track recently, but
well, able to hit the second one fairly cleanly there, and it's a 4-point Spring Hill lead on an 8-point run here to begin this second half. Trying to go down low. He was looking for Lane Hoffine. That tipped out of play by Spring Hill.
Just trying to cut their way. Both Hoffine twins, they're just trying to find the open looks off of back cutting.
Into Bassett, down low, and Paola has points in the third quarter.
I think Byer right there is just trying to avoid a shooting foul.
Bruce sends it outside for three, off the rim, no good. Lane Hoffine adds yet another rebound.
Brenner, I think that was just a delayed jumper there. Kind of just came off his form late. They want a foul. They'll get one. They wanted it on the shot, though.
Yeah, they're going to get Brenner on this one. Quick substitutions for each team, as someone for Paola is going to have to get this ball and head over to the side. Here's Troy Leonard for the inbound, gets it in, Landon Murdoch. Over to Troy Leonard. Good quick movement here, Paola's. Hoyt Hoffine's got it. Stepping his way through, no shot. Foul on the floor. We'll see who they get.
Get Sam Harris for that one.
So that his first. Halfway through the third quarter, not necessarily anywhere near worrisome. And kept alive by Spring Hill. It's a clean takeaway. Back the other way with it. And a travel called.
Yeah, Beck rolled over with it. That's where they're going to get the travel there. When you're on the ground with that one, you kind of just have to stay stationary, and he kind of just accidentally rolled uninstinctly. And they're going to get a head trick with a quick reach-in foul. It's already the Broncos' third.
Well, we didn't have a great deal of foul trouble from either of these teams in the first half in either quarter.
No.
But 5 in the first half of this third quarter already between the two teams. Murdoch out to Miller. Miller, a drive. Miller is fouled. So Gannon Miller will have a chance to tie this game from the free throw line.
He's fouled by Jordan Miller, I believe, is who they'll tack that one on. Yep. It's just his first. So Miller just needs to make both these to tie this back up.
He'll hit the first.
For the Broncos, how are you going to respond?
Tied up at 29, as we'll get a look at that response coming here for Spring Hill. Gets it to Beck. A drive.
Call push.
Yeah, on the floor. That'll go against Paola, so.
It's on Gannon Miller. It's already his third, so wonder if he's going to be checked out of this game. Yeah, he is. You want to preserve Gannon Miller as long as possible.
They'll get Stephen Bassett in there.
Miller just trying to direct the traffic. Panthers, nice job. The man defense really working.
Gets himself down low, then has to dish it. Almost lost the handle on it for a moment, but gets it back. Shoots a three and drills it. What a shot.
Miller, the three-point shot's not been his forte, but right there knocks it down. And
off. Landon Murdoch did it just because. What a contest between these two squads, and how about 3 in a row? Jackson out. 2:47 to go, third quarter, here on Paola Sports Live, brought to you by Comcast Xfinity.
For 50 years, Elliott Group has been your local insurance partner. With 5 convenient locations, Elliott Group is big enough to offer the best carriers, but small enough to know your name and your insurance needs. Elliott Group is more than just insurance. They're a part of each community they serve, with a wide variety of insurance solutions to help your unique challenges. Elliott Group, where they're there for you today and for years to come. Visit them at any of their 5 locations or at ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
My experience at Strode Orthodontics was amazing. Like most people who had their first round of braces, I forgot to wear my retainer and so therefore had crooked teeth. I got engaged this year. I wanted straight teeth for my wedding, and so Dr. Strode was able to give me Invisalign, and now I have the straight smile that I've always wanted. We're gonna get such a welcoming experience here. The day of my wedding, I'm not going to be scared to take pictures. Now I can finally be confident with my smile on that big day.
If you're going to wear jewelry,
Back in out of the timeout. After 3 straight three-pointers made between these two squads, we'll see if the Panthers have yet another answer coming. 35-32, Spring Hill in front. They get this over to Hoffine, moving it around. Now it's Stephen Bassett over to Landon Murdoch. He'll cut in, kicks it out. Troy Leonard, he's looking for another 3. That one not going to go. Tipped up into the air, still loose, and finally corralled by Jackson Bruce of Spring Hill. Outside, how about another 3-pointer, and he drill another one. My goodness, it's raining threes here in Paola High School.
Must have been watching the Dame Lillard 3-point shooting contest highlights. That was an impressive performance by Dame Dalla, and right there the Broncos have had a phenomenal perimeter shooting night so far.
And Paola breaks up the 3-point party.
Again, oh,
but gets his own rebound.
He had to get a shot up quick. That time he converts.
So back to a 6-point game. Murdoch to Troy Leonard. Over to Stephen Bassett. He'll fire off a 3, and Stephen Bassett drills it. What in the world is going on here? I thought he was firing off another one there, Brennan.
He could have.
Down low. Harris is fouled.
There we go. Yeah. And Harris, I was about to say, it was a matter of time before that whistle was going to blow. Not saying that that was a definite foul. Just saying we've seen it time and time again where foul calls just coming a tad bit too late. So
we'll have a brief discussion about it first.
We want to see if they will go through with it or kind of just to reconvene on what they saw.
I tell you what, that student section oddly effective here tonight.
Rat Pack's done their job well.
And Harris will drill the second one.
I remember I was a sophomore back in 2021. We had to play myself being a student at Tongi, we had to play Trey Moala and that team to go to state. And I tell you what, that student section right there was filled to the brim, and then you kind of look in the far corner of your screen, we filled up those visiting student section bleachers to the brim too. So that was the most packed house you could get for a basketball game in the state of Kansas. That was for a state appearance too. And I tell you, that Trey Moala Paola team was good.
They're hoping to get back to similar heights here as Blackmore sends this in. Landon Murdoch So after the travel call and that following the Bassett basket, back to a 2-point game. Blackmore going to try to even it up, not going to do it this possession.
Kind of just an odd angle for Blackmore to go for it.
Tight roping the boundary, out of bounds, tipped out of there by Hoyt Hoffine.
It's been 3 quarters of straight fireworks, Aaron. I tell you what.
Gets it quickly into Beck. And a push called.
Yep, it's going to be on Bassett. Whatever foul it is, it's only his second. And again, it's going to send Bruce to the line. Panthers with 5 fouls, which you go back to the last 2 quarters. You mentioned, Aaron, that both these teams are playing relatively clean. Now we see the first time that either team's been in the bonus.
That time not quite as much of a rattling effect from the student section as Bruce just sends it right through. See if he can make it 2 for 2. Yes, he can.
Much needed.
So 4-point contest as Landon Murdoch will bring it up court. Tried to get that pass down low. Was that off of Byer? Yes, it was.
Broncos in disbelief. And I can tell when the Broncos are in disbelief. I love Jordan Miller's facial expressions every time.
Oh, that one just bounced around for forever, and then Beck came up with it. So now an opportunity for Spring Hill to add some points to a 4-point advantage heading into the 4th. Down low, Byer lost it. Blackmore, that one tipped, and we'll go to the 4th, 43-39, Spring Hill in front. We got a dandy here on Paola Sports Live.
As unique as you, at Wilson's Jewelers, they can bring your ideas to life. Wilson's can also put old stones in new pieces, or new stones in old pieces, or even just repair what you already love. Wilson's Jewelers brings quality service and old world craftsmanship to the area by learning from jewelry masters from around the world. For 30 years, Wilson's Jewelers has been family owned and operated. When it comes to your adornments, trust Wilson's Jewelers, your personal.
First Option Bank, community banking at its best. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Back in out of the break here. Start of the 4th quarter from Paola High School. The Panthers will begin with the ball, down by 4. This has been an incredible second game of our doubleheader here on Paola Sports Live. Landon Murdoch over to Bassett. Good quick movement here from the Panthers. Gets it to Hoyt Hoffine, trying to spin through, and that's a travel.
Just trying to create extra room, was trying to Euro step, but just turned into just travel in there.
It almost looked like he kind of lost his balance with one of those steps. Just had to fall backwards. Spinning. Oh, what a play by Hoffine initially, but then getting it right back was Jordan Miller, who puts 2 more on the board. Down low for Hoffine, and a push against Byer.
Take a look at the standings right now, Aaron. Paola, if playoffs started today, they'd be the 6th seed. Tonganoxie and Parsons on the brink of elimination right now. I think they just assessed a technical.
Well, I haven't
not
seen
a technical, but I think they assessed another foul for a push. Something, I'm not sure what.
Yeah, I didn't see him tee anyone up, so just a standard foul for now.
And they'll call yet another foul.
Yeah, I missed whatever actually happened, but Landon Murdoch ended up on the floor.
That's 3 straight fouls.
And everyone in a purple hoodie discussing their displeasure.
I'm
loudly.
confused too. It's 3 straight fouls in a matter of just seconds.
And then the ball taken away by Jackson Bruce, who quickly goes back up court. Tipped but corralled by Spring Hill. Outside it goes to Beck. Finds its way back to Miller. Now to Bruce. Good quick movement here by the Broncos. Almost taken Landon Miller. Stepping up, firing a 3. Oh, it rattles in and out. And they're going to say that was last touched by Byer.
I think they wanted to discuss oh, hang on. They got right in the face of Lane Hoffine.
Well, Hoffine has been having some post-play discussions with officials throughout the night. We have no idea what he has said already or what was said there. We are way up here, so there's no speculation of any kind that'll take place.
I think that was kind of a final warning.
Yeah, we'll just say he has had conversations, and so an official has decided to have one back.
And here we go. This is Broncos' 4th foul, so one more, and you're going to put Paola in the bonus with 6.5 minutes to play, but hang on. They want to get a sub in. Yeah, it's not been a good scene here in the 4th quarter.
So get this to Hoyt. Hoffine almost lost it, might still lose it. That thing's still loose, it's still in his feet. Jump ball called, it's Spring Hill's possession arrow.
That time Broncos got something to go their way. Much needed jump ball, and realistically you can have a good possession here, and this time Hedrick is able to check off McAvoy in. I think the confusion was that Coach Bouchard yelled for a sub, and McAvoy got a bit too late to check in the game, so the referee kind of just pushed him back out.
Driving, denied! So Lane Hoffine hasn't been getting the foul calls that he likes, but has been fairly successful at blocking shots today.
I think he had to be careful if he wanted to have a bit of a celebration there. He's on a pretty short leash. I think a singular notable taunt would have probably had him with a technical.
And Beck couldn't quite handle the pass, and you might be right about that, but evidently Hoffine seemed to know it as he just kind of blocked it and then walked away. And Paola down by 6 in desperate need of points on this possession.
If you look at the situation Spring Hill's in, they have the 7th seed. They're 2 games ahead of Sumner.
Murdoch for 3!
Sumner's Sumner's 2 games down of approaching Lansing in Blue Valley Southwest at 10 losses. So Spring Hill, if they want to keep themselves in contention for a home sub-state playoff game to open up the sub-state games, then you gotta get a win here.
As Gannon Miller was able to draw the foul, so he'll go to the free throw line.
And now look at this way. Bonner Springs at 19-0, single-handedly run away with this league and might run away with the 5A #1 seed. 19-0 to start off the season, Aaron. I mean, how impressive is that? You don't really lose hardly anybody maybe lose one or two guys, and you return most your lineup, including a lot of young freshmen. I mean, that's just an incredible run for Bonner Springs.
So we've had them twice here on this channel. They have been a true force all season long. His second free throw goes through, so now it's a 2-point contest. Down low, Byer pulls up, takes the shot and drills it.
It's a nice job by Byer, that pick and roll.
Murdoch, Blackmore thought about the three, then dishes to Lane Hoffine, who's down low, turns, spins, shoots. Tip, no, Blackmore the rebound. That shot doesn't go. And this time the rebound pulled in Jordan Miller.
Broncos doing a nice job contesting the shots there. You've got to have a bucket here if you want to keep yourself ahead.
Here's Miller.
Playing patient here, Aaron.
That they are, you got the full 35. Not necessarily at a point where you're trying to just run clock all the way down. As McAvoy was open, so he took the shot, and that one, unfortunately for him, just spun in and out.
Yeah, a tad bit late on the release there. And they're going to get Murdoch for a travel. But Bassett would have made the three-pointer. That's got to hurt just a little bit.
Couple of times now, Paola's had a whistle kill off a three-point. Now, granted, you shoot it a little differently with no pressure in your face. But that is now twice this fourth quarter that they have hit a three-pointer that was utterly meaningless. Fires this one near side McAvoy. Down low, Byer. Spinning through, denied by Lane Hoffine, but he hit that one a bit too hard, and there was only Jackson Bruce out there to go collect it.
Call a foul.
On the floor, that'll be the first against Paola this quarter.
It's on Blackmore. It's just his second, though.
However, with 3:26 left to go, you almost have to start worrying about down by 4 right now, Paola. Are you going to be in a position later where you're going to want to foul to send them to the free throw line? If so, you better get busy fouling.
Some nice moves by Miller right there. Got all the separation you wanted. If you're Spring Hill, you cannot foul. Any foul sends Paola to the line, and they've been pretty solid from the free throw line.
That one's tipped out of play. Last off Spring Hill, it'll remain with Paola. 6-point game, 3:02 to go.
And you can hear Coach Bouchard. I think the one thing that noticeably I heard him say is don't hold. That's how Spring Hill got 3 straight fouls in about seconds.
Moving it around quickly here is Paola. They get it to Bassett. Spring Hill going to be more than aware of where he and Murdoch are when they get the ball from 3-point range. Miller down low. Shot did not get off in time, I can't believe.
It's a little late on the shot clock call, but they got it there.
Sometimes you got to think about it for a second.
Yeah. Buzzer did sound, so is it? Yeah. Definitely is.
As the Broncos will send this in. This game thus far very similar to their previous encounter. A tight contest throughout that Spring Hill has a couple of possession lead late. And they'll add to it. 9-point Broncos advantage. And a timeout taken with 2:16 left to go. We'll step aside. You're watching Paola Sports Live.
Make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life. The professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Panther fans can find us at 310 North Hospital Drive in Paola or 913-294-3713. To find a location near you, go to Prime Accounting.
Back in out of the timeout, 52-43, Spring Hill in the lead.
That was a huge three-pointer there by McAvoy. Broncos needed kind of a cushion lead. About 2 minutes left, and they got just that. Paola, they just got to find a way back in this game. And all starts, you got to go down inside and find the Hoffine twins.
Right now, they'll try to go inside to Miller. Lane Hoffine was nearly there for the rebound, but couldn't quite get it. Now Spring Hill will have the opportunity to kill some major clock here. Basket or not, you just got to make sure you use this whole shot clock.
Oh, yeah, they tried trapping.
And a travel called against Miller. That's not at all what Spring Hill wanted.
No, and Miller, he got trapped into a double team. It's a dead ball, so we couldn't really pass it at all. So now you're at the situation of you got to find somebody else.
Tipped, batted around into the air, out of bounds, last off Spring Hill.
Nice job by Bruce to get that deflection in. And Coach Osha wants a timeout.
We'll take it with him. 1:40 to go. It's still a 9-point game here on Paola Sports Live.
He's in a small town, and there was a lot of people who took time to invest in me. And so when we decided to open up our offices, we want to make sure that we're pouring back into the community that's giving to us. We care. We want to be involved. We want to have a passion for what you have a passion for. We want to be able to give back. And that's the foundation. That's why we're more than just insurance.
So out of the timeout, we'll see what Paola drew up. They get it in to Landon Murdoch. Down low, Hoyt Hoffine. He's fouled.
It's going to put him at the line. It's on Miller.
And, I mean, on one hand, it does take away the opportunity for the three from Paola, but on the other, you don't know how much more time it would have taken the Panthers. I'd almost rather kill more clock.
Yeah, no kidding.
Although Hoffine misses on the first.
Kind of go their offense-defense subs almost. You can imagine it'll be a quick water break for Mikey Beck. Got McAvoy in, who knocked down the three-pointer to put the Broncos up 9.
So Hoyt Hoffine goes 1 for 2, cuts it back to an 8-point ball game.
It's going to be a trap.
Quickly up court, gets it to Bruce. Goes far side with it. Good possession basketball here from Spring Hill.
It's going to be a matter of keep away. Watch Murdoch. He's going to shade. There. Tried to go for it.
Yeah, tried to get that hand in there. And Paola just doesn't have any fouls to send Spring Hill directly to the line here. It would be kind of a fruitless endeavor at this point. Shot for three. Off the rim, no good. And the Broncos get back to it. That might just have iced this thing.
Yeah. Broncos fans feeling it. This is a much-needed win for Spring Hill. And we talked about it. Paola, they just want to keep themselves in contention for a home sub-state game, as do the Broncos, but they don't have much wiggle room. So this win will be huge for them. But again, they have a tough schedule ahead.
Broncos get it in quickly. Miller is fouled.
Game still isn't quite over yet, but I will say Panthers have to foul fast. And Coach Osha wants a timeout.
We'll take it with him. 44 seconds left to play. 8-point ball game in Spring Hill's ball when we come back.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Here at Strode Orthodontics, we are a single doctor practice, which means that I am the only orthodontist here in the practice. I will be the one guiding you through your care journey. With our experienced staff, your appointments will be more efficient and more comfortable. We love treating kids as well as adults. We want you to be happy with your experience during orthodontic treatment as well as your smile at the end. I love when patients tell me that their smile has improved their confidence and their quality of life, because a smile is for a lifetime.
Back in out of the timeout, Spring Hill ball, full shot clock. And they're gonna get Miller.
Now before a lot of extra stuff between Bruce and Miller.
They get this one into Jackson Bruce. Over to McElvoy.
There's the foul, there's 5.
And McEvoy will go to the line. 31 seconds left to play.
Broncos are good to the defense sub, so Byer, Harris, and Beck. And then you've got Emmett Blackmore, who's been a solid defense guy as well. And Gannon Miller essentially is just fouled out of this game.
McElvoy drills the first one.
Broncos just trying to go for this season sweep over the Panthers.
And those will help.
And I hope, seriously hope, Aaron, that the battle of 169 Highway continues as the Broncos head to the UKC next year. I think Bronco fans and Panther fans alike would like nothing more than to keep this series alive. It's out of bounds.
Yeah, that shot not going to go, and that'll pretty much put a wrap on this. I'm not sure if Paola will bother fouling this possession, but now a 10-point contest, 22 seconds, and it's Spring Hill ball.
They're putting the press on, though. Panthers aren't shying away from being out of this game completely, but they're trying to put the press on.
Trying to get
the
that
free throws.
Yeah, ball away, and we'll get some free throws.
McAvoy almost had the full court lob.
Stay tuned after the conclusion of these final 20 seconds. We'll go ahead and keep it right here and just jump straight into the post-game show as we recap the evening's events. And what looks like Spring Hill getting another clean sweep of varsity action over Paola as McAvoy hits both his free throws.
And checks in Mikey Beck. And what a season it's been for Coach Bouchard. His most wins at the helm as the Broncos head coach. And there's Jackson Bruce, and he'll just dribble it out.
And that should do it. As you mentioned, Jackson Bruce dribbles that clock down to zeros, and the Spring Hill Broncos go to 12-8 on the season. For Paola, they will fall to 12-8. And it is the Broncos getting the clean sweep here in the second game of our doubleheader. And Brennan, what a ball game. I mean, obviously it got out of hand there a bit toward the end, but what a phenomenal game of action we had here on the channel.
It's a rivalry game, and both of these teams showed up tonight, but the Broncos, I think what separated them in this one was their ability to shoot from the perimeter. And the Panthers, they did have a lot of responses, but they just weren't as consistent hitting the outside shot like the Broncos were. And I think it took a lot of noticing for the Broncos to stop trying to force the inside shots whenever Lane and Hoyt were in the lane, and it just took a lot. But I think the Broncos did the job well done in shooting from the perimeter. And the Panthers, they had a really solid defensive presence tonight, but just unfortunately wasn't able to stop the perimeter game from the Broncos. They had a lot of back cuts, a lot of face cuts. It was cutting to the basket that really helped out in the favor of the Broncos to find those open looks, and the movement by the Broncos to find those open shots. So movement can definitely help you win games, and I think that's what helped the Broncos tonight with this one.
And looking ahead on the schedule here for Paola, a trifecta of games remaining in our regular season games for Paola Sports Live. They'll be in action this Friday in Tonganoxie. That'll be a simulcast. You'll have to catch that one over on our Tonganoxie channel. Paola will also be in action again next week as they take on Baldwin and Lewisburg. You can catch that here on Paola Sports Live. That is Tuesday and Friday of next week, respectively. For Spring Hill, Brennan, what do you guys have coming up?
Yeah, Broncos take on the Eudora Cardinals on Friday. That coverage begins at 5:45, 5:50 on Spring Hill Sports Live. I will be at Johnson County Baseball. BJ Harris, Curtis Kaiser, Caden Carbajo have that one for you. And then we finish out the week, senior night, on February 24th against Bonner Springs. I'll join you on that one, along with the final game of the season on the 27th of February against Ottawa in Ottawa to round out the season. Again, we got Sub-State coming up. That begins March 2nd through March 7th is the Sub-State tournament. State quarterfinals begin a week after that. Again, there's the new changes in terms of you play at a separate site for the quarterfinals before, if you move on to the state semifinals, you'll play at the actual state site, I believe. If I remember right. So I'll kind of explain to you, Aaron, how this works. The quarterfinal matchup, it'll be the top seeds of those. It'll be the top seed. They will play host to all of the other remaining 7 teams. Now, the only exception is it's the closest to that top seed. So, for instance, if Spring Hill hypothetically were a top seed, they would play, I think KCK is a site. They would play at KCK. If one of those teams, the other 7 teams is far away, as in 250 miles, then they play at a central location closest to everybody. So per se, like an Emporia would be much closer for everybody, and they have to make sure they assign those correctly. And sometimes they might have to have a bit of rules broken, but regardless, that's how the quarterfinal matchups work. And then the semifinal, the 4 teams will play along with another classification. I think 4A is paired with 2A and Hutch, I believe, this year. So 4A and 2A at Hutch this year. Both the semifinal and the championship games of 4A and 2A will be played at Hutchinson. That's kind of how the breakdown is. You visit Keisha's website as well, or there should be an article that explains it all. But I really like this new system and format. It gives kind of a different advantages to home courts for the top seeds, still with a bigger environment, and then you have a centralized location for all the seeds, and you get to play with another classification instead of playing with one classification the entire day. I think it really worked out well, and it spreads things out. So I really like what Keisha did in terms of this new system headed to state.
just around the corner. We thank you for the breakdown, Brennan. I've been Aaron Feely along with the aforementioned Brennan Bolin here on tonight's broadcast on Paola Sports Live, and we will see you guys next time.
From the gridiron to the hardcourt, the pitch to the mat, don't miss any of the action. We're there with live, local sports coverage at VarsitySportsLive.com.